afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Full-Length Cup Challenge at the legendary Indianapolis Motor Speedway, exclusively on Maconi Entertainment. My name is Kirk Mills. I will be your color commentator for tonight's action, and I'm joined by the boss man himself, Jeff Maconi, as we await our lead commentator to show up a little later. Dylan Connolly will be with us, who's going to be joining us just shortly here for the Full-Length Cup Challenge. You know, Jeff, there's something special about Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This place is steeped in history, over a century of racing tradition, and from the Indianapolis 500 to now NASCAR's Brickyard 400 for its second year, coming back to the oval. It's a 2.5-mile rectangle that demands perfection from the drivers, long straights, tight corners, and almost no room for error. With the full-length racing we got tonight, it's going to be all about pit strategy, tire management, and staying mentally sharp for the long haul. Now, Jeff, you've been around these full-length events a long time. What would you say makes Indy such a unique challenge for these drivers tonight?
Well, what's funny about Indianapolis is most people associate tracks that are 2.5 miles long with being easy, wide open tracks where you're just riding around and drafting for most of the time. But IMS is absolutely its own animal. You can see here, each of the 4 turns is banked at 9.2 degrees. It is exactly 2.5 miles, and it is one of, if not the most difficult tracks to get around in any sort of race car, let alone the next gen cars, which are very boxy and an animal in and of themselves. So you have to be focused, you have to be on top of your game, and you can get away with treating a lot of tracks like they are just 2 corners each. Not Indianapolis. It is each corner followed by a short chute, then a corner again, then a very long straightaway after that. You can see the points here. I think if you are not riding some serious momentum into this race, you should be very, very concerned, because this is a really tough place to pull off a comeback. It definitely favors drivers with a high level of skill, and as soon as you make one tiny mistake, you will be eating it, and you will regret it for the rest of the night. And it's a long one tonight, with some money at the end of the night too. That's going to be a ton of fun for these drivers.
Absolutely. Paul Hill and Dyson here, they're going to be racing each other for a chance at the money. We'll see who's going to be able to win the in-season tournament. We're going to keep an eye on both drivers all night long, Paul Hill and Andrew Dyson. These guys have been fast. Both of them has won, and it's going to be 160 laps around here, 50 laps for the first stage, 100 laps second stage. Tire limit is going to be right around 12 with no that might be the incident limit, actually. I think that there's no fast repairs, and we have open setups as well. So we have just had Dylan Connolly join us in the booth. Dylan, what are your hopes and dreams going into this Indy race? What do you think's going to happen?
I just hope for a good race, man. I mean, this track has been known, depending on what kind of car it is and just the aero package and everything. I hope it's a good race tonight. I hope it's a good competitive race, as we have the starting grid up here, Kirk.
Oh, I'm excited. There we go. So starting on the pole, it's Jonathan Delaney, and to his outside, Joseph Gulata going to be starting in second. And starting in third will be Adam Benefiel. To his outside will be Lucas Hoytsema. And starting in fifth will be Ralph Hutchinson. To his outside will be Cameron Stone. Starting in the 7th place spot tonight will be Matt DiCiani. And to his outside, the one going for the big money, Andrew Dyson. Starting in 9th this afternoon will be Paul Hill, also going for the money, starting right next to each other, and then Jacob Simpson rounding out our top 10.
It's going to be a fun battle to watch. Hopefully those two stay around each other all night. P11, we have Jeremy Miller, and then to his outside we'll have Stephen Williams starting in the 12th position tonight. In the next row, Matthew Long holding down P13 and Tanner Marty in P14. We head back into the teens now. Tyler Hunter in 15th, and at 16th position, Eddie Rose. We'll head back closer to the end of the teens. We'll have Alex Coffey in P17 and P18 Dylan Kritz in that Brewers scheme again this week. Hunter Truell in P19, and rounding out the top 20, William Owens.
All right, continuing on, we got Paul Gallimore starting in 21st, and to his outside, Thomas Kulmacheski. Starting in the 23rd spot tonight will be Chad Sanner, and to his outside, Dave Hoytsma. Starting in 25th tonight will be Chris Davis, and to his outside, Jedi Taylor in the 60 car. Starting in 27th tonight, Brandon Hastings. To his outside will be Dustin Hall. Starting in 29th tonight will be Larry McDonald, and to his outside will be Daniel Llewellyn in 30th.
Back at 31st, Clayton Hoffman. 32nd will be Bobby Anderson, that good-looking Kellogg scheme. P33, Carl Dotson. Neil Pearson back in 34th position. Going back in the final starting position, shotgun on the field, Derek Heitman will round out the field for you, Kirk.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go to get back up to the front. We know Derek Heitman, he's fast, and he's going to be a driver that needed to take a provisional this week, so he did not get a chance to actually qualify, which is why he's starting at the back. But the drivers are now heading through turns 3 and 4. Turn 4 now. We have 81 degrees, 107 track temp. It's going to be a little slick, but not nothing crazy. These cars are coming out of turn number 4 now onto the long, famous straightaway we know here at Indianapolis. I'm excited. You're excited here at Brickyard 400. These cars are going to be heading down to the restart zone. Pace car dives down into the pit lane, and we are getting ready to go into the restart zone. Let's go racing. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Even as they head down into turn number 1 to start things off. That outside line falling back ever so slightly. The bottom line is the preferred lane, but that outside's got to run as they head out.
Swirly in the back. We got a
crash!
Turn 2.
It looks like 2 cars are in the wall. That will be the first caution of the night. It looks like that we had 2 drivers, which is Dave Hoytsma and William Owens. 2 cars right there, the 09 and the 30 car, taken out in turn 1, lap 1. Oh boy. Oh, this is going to be the start of something. Broken right front on the 09 of Dave Hoytsma. You hate to see it. Let's see what happened here. What exactly went on?
You know, I started to see it in the back. Someone got squirrely, but this is actually ahead of him. That 30 machine, He got a little loose, and he got knocked out of shape. They were, I think, 3 wide. That was William Owens. They got loose just a little bit and got knocked out of shape. Kind of similar what happened if you watch the Xfinity race today between Kyle Larson and Justin Allgaier. Kind of similar situation, just people fighting over real estate. See if we can get another look at the replay here going into turn 1. You hate to see something like that happen at any point in the race, but you especially hate to see it turn 1, lap 1 of a long event like this. Oh, it was just a big stack up in front. It was something different than I thought. It was just a big stack up in front of the 30, but
so the 98. Yeah, that's right. First caution. That 98 of Williams actually had a rough restart, didn't quite get to the gears as quickly as he'd like. And then the car behind him, which is the 29 of Tanner Marty, got hit in the back bumper by the 46 of Eddie Rose. And Eddie Rose got that 29 upset, and they all got loose there. And when that happens, the 49 got down into the 64. 64 got hit by the 30. 30 was loose, couldn't hang on to it, got into Komacheski, Chad Sander, and then ultimately into Dave Hoytsma, which caused that accident there. So I think Dave has got the worst damage out of it. That 30 car looks like he might be able to get a lot of that damage repaired, but the 09 most certainly is not going to have the best day here to start things off. Man, I was real excited to get this started, but Dave, you can see that damage. It's going to take a while for him to get back out there. Rough start. And he was going to do this great tribute over to Hulk Hogan. I love that Hulkamania. He just passed away this last week. And it's so unfortunate to see him go out early on with that paint scheme. And we got to give him some props for doing that. I very am much a fan of that. And hopefully he'll be able to get that thing out there and try and finish out the race for that paint scheme.
Oh, yeah, that's a good-looking scheme, too. But you just hate that for really anybody, for that to happen turn 1 and lap 1. But that's track position and just positioning as you go through the corners is so important. You see guys, they have to fight for position because, you know, if you're side-by-side down this backstretch, it can cause both of you issues. And these corners, I mean, they can handle 2 or even 3 wide, but it's not just the best idea in the world to be 2 or 3 wide. You want to have premier position over your opponent going through those corners, and those are easy places to make up track position.
Now they got some pit stops, guys coming down pit road. These guys are mostly going to be repairing their damage, topping off gas, trying the best they can to be able to get back out on the racetrack. All the cars are now on the backstretch. I think we're on the 2 to go marker as the leaders are now on the backstretch. Let's go ahead and just do a quick recap to show you where people are if anything got shuffled. Everybody in the top 10 is exactly where they started. A couple switches from 5th and 6th for Cameron Stone and Ralph Hutchinson. Otherwise, they're still fine. But nose to tail, I want to keep an eye on this all night. Andrew Dyson and Paul Hill. These guys are going for the big money, trying to win this in-season tournament. They've been trying to get there so much all season. A lot of drivers say they don't really pay attention to it, but tonight, you know those 2 drivers are paying attention to it. No matter what they say, they're going to try and do that. And they're right now nose to tail. They got DeCiani between them, but it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they're able to maneuver this track tonight to try and make the money.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you know, they're going to say they're trying to obviously win the race, but they know if they just beat 1 car in this field, it's going to be a successful night at the racetrack for them. I mean, they're going to play it nice. You know, if we brought them up in the booth, they're going to say, oh, well, just trying to focus, race my own race. But I guarantee, you know, they're asking their crew guys, or they're looking at that F3 button on that relative, see where that other guy is, and they'll be like that all night.
You know, it's interesting to think about it. These guys had to go through so many drivers to be able to get to this point. Like, for example, Dyson had to first go through Dustin Hall. He beat them. Then he had to go through Hunter Truell in the 71 car. He beat him, and then they had to go through DeCiani, one of the most consistent drivers all season. They beat him, and then he had to go through Derek Heitman, another one of the consistent drivers, and he beat him, getting all the way to the point where he's going to be trying to win this money. As for the 26 of Paul Hill, he had to go through Ralph Hutchinson, great driver, really fast. Then Jeremy Miller in the 86 car, able to get by him. 28, he had to get by Matthew Long. He did that as well. And then Alex Murray in the 7. He beat the 7 car, and now he is here to try and get in front of Dyson. It's going to be a lot of fun watching that all night. But we're on the backstretch now, 1 lap to green. We're going to get back going. And we got to remember, once this thing gets settled out, dirty air is going to be a big deal. So track position is so important here at Indy. You got to get to the front. You got to do whatever you can to get clean air, because it is so hard to make passes here. And so Delaney's sitting in a great spot. Just get to the bottom, stay on the bottom, and try to make sure you beat the car on the outside line. Last time we saw
100%.
Gulata beat him. Yeah, it was wild.
I mean, the clean air is going to be so big here. If you're the leader, you know, if you're one of the top 5 or top 10 cars that actually has pretty good pace, which a lot of these cars have good pace anyway, but that clean air is going to make this car drive a whole lot different. Now, if they start catching lap traffic under green, that's where they'll have issues. But I just want to tell you, I got in here just a little late, but I love this racetrack. I love watching races here. This is one of the best circuits in the world racing-wise. You know, Daytona's great, but I'd say this is the premier circuit in the United States for racing, and it's just look at that view, man. You got everything. You can fit like 8 SEC football stadiums in there and a golf course here. I mean, this place is just great to watch a race.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It makes me want to go play some golf. But that pace car is going to dive off, and we're going to go ahead and watch these guys restart here. Now let's see if we can get past turn 1. No incidents, guys. Here we go. We're going back green. They hit that restart box, and they are underway. Great jump by Delaney. That inside line got a way better start, and Delaney's going to clear that outside line.
Now, I wonder over the course of the race if, you know, they have lane choice in the front row, if he's going to start taking the top, wherever the leader is, start taking the top, because you're going to get a heck of a run off of turn 2 if you're able to keep a fender's length on somebody.
For sure. That outside line is going to be interesting to see who's going to pick every single time. It's all about getting the jump.
Now, so you'll look here. I hate to interrupt, but you'll see that 99 machine of Joseph Gulata. He's trying to get clean air to the front of that car, so it'll get a better jump. It'll better draft onto Jonathan Delaney. You're going to see that all night. You're going to see guys trying to fight for clean air down the front and the back stretch. The front stretch a little tighter than the back stretch by about 10 feet, but you're going to see a lot of. You see the same stuff in the Indy 500 with the Indy cars. You're going to see guys swerving, trying to find clean air, trying to block dirty air if you're the leader. But you're going to see that. Like, look, they're doing it again right here. Joseph Gulata is trying to get clean air. So it's really, what do you want your car to do going to turn 1? Do you want clean air going to the nose, or do you want to get a draft where you can get right up on top of somebody like that? But I think right now he's going to choose the clean air.
That is going to be the right option. Get out of the draft as quickly as you can. You got the driver now, though, battling side by side, who's trying to get some clean air, but just can't seem to make the pass happen. We just saw Ralph Hutchinson hang on to the spot. You saw that they were side by side for a while, and the sad truth of the matter is when they're side by side, you lose a lot of time, and you can see everybody scrunched up behind them, and that's going to cause problems. So he's got that big gap in front of him now, and the top 4 are really going to start scooting away. But everyone is calmed down, got in single file. Now they just got to get in a rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see this a lot. You're going to, anytime that you have an early wreck like that, turn 1, lap 1, regardless of the racetrack, you're going to see guys try to chill out and realize, like, hey, if I can let someone go, let him go, I can get him back. If I can't get him back in 152 laps, then I don't deserve to be up here. But you're going to see a lot of this, at least through the first and second stage. And we got a little contact at the back, about mid-pack, but, you're going to see it be really tame. We saw this happen at Dover last week. They had about 2 or 3 big ones. I say big ones. There are 8 to 12 car accidents. But after they got that all sorted out, we got a really long green flag run, and it turned into a really exciting finish that provided a good finish via fuel strategy and tire strategy as well. But, right now I think things are going to be kind of tame. You see a couple guys going 2 wide for about 8th place. I think that's, hard to tell who that is. That's Jeremy Miller and Cameron Stone. Yeah, and that Coors Light machine make me a little thirsty. With the Red Bull machine, that is not a combo I would suggest, but to each their own. If that's your elixir of choice, then more power to you. I've heard, I don't mean to get into alcoholic side of things. Vodka Red Bull is more of the drink that you think there. But I mean, I'd try anything. But they think they have it single filed out now over here through the back. They got a little battle for 10th place. But right now it's all peachy keen throughout the field, Kirk.
Peachy and keen. Now, that is some interesting terminology, my man Dylan. I got to tell you, though, you're going to see one thing that was on my mind whenever we started watching this is that drivers are going to hit that outside wall a lot going out of turn number 1 and going out of turn number 3. It's just a very tight corners, and they will go up and hit that wall on the occasion. And when you see that, don't worry too much. It's very light contact most of the time. And you can't do that every single lap, but you'll see that happen a lot, especially off turn 4. You saw it there. That just because of that contact, Matthew Long's getting passed right here side by side. He's getting passed, it looks like, by that one car here. Who is that? That is Tyler Hunter in the 48 car. Hey, he's up in the top 15. We don't normally see Tyler Hunter up here in the top 15. I'm excited to see that 48 car doing well. Hopefully he can try and make this pass here in the 28 of Matthew Long, even alongside him down the back straightaway.
You look at this racetrack, you think there's 4 corners here, but there's really 2 good passing zones here. If you're able to get a good launch off of turn 2 and turn 4, you got these long front straightaways, which are some of the longest on the surface in iRacing. If you're able to get a good run, draft-wise, you're able to stay with a car length, you'll be able to get a pretty good position going down to turns 1 and 3. But, I mean, if you're side-by-side going through here, it's really just depending on how your car handles how you'll go through that second quarter.
Exactly. It's also about car positioning, where you set it up and all that. I got to ask you, man, out here when you're watching these cars go around single file, the thing is that when you get close to that rear bumper, it's so hard to make a pass on them. And I got to ask you, I'm learning about you, Dylan, as well as these drivers here, but I can tell you, do you race on your own, Dylan, as well?
Oh, yeah, I race a ton. Yeah, I also stream. I'll probably, there's very few people that I see, I'll probably put in 20, 25 races at different kind of tracks all throughout the week. So I'm well versed in the iRacing world, but
that's perfect.
I have not driven, the NIS full-length Indy 500 is going on this week. I've not tried one of those, but it's any full event full race event like that, which is very similar or exactly the same as the events that FLCC puts on. You start to, you got to play the long game when you're in a race like this. You could try to get it all in one lap, but the old saying, you can't win it on lap 1. You could certainly lose it. That's very true to this. I mean, you're 10 laps into this race. I mean, you got a long way to go. I would rather, be just dog doo-doo last right now, but still running and still have a chance of something at lap 150 than try to push hard and put myself on the wall and be out of the race on lap 20. So I think that's where a lot of these drivers, these are high-level drivers. I mean, Jonathan Delaney, I keep calling him Joseph. I'm getting the top 2 combined, but Jonathan Delaney has been in the Coke Series before. That's a different style of racing. That's high-level talent there, but it's also races that are about pretty close to a half or a third of the length of this. But right now, it's kind of like a throwback. A lot of those races in the Coke Series used to be longer. They used to be pretty close to full length, but a driver of Jonathan's stature that's been at the highest level of sim racing, this is no problem for a guy like him. But a lot of these guys, they've been here throughout the entire year. And if you're not used to this kind of racing, it can kind of be a drag. But the thing that's very difficult when you're racing like this, now Dover was a prime example because you're doing 400 laps. So this, you're only doing 160. But you have to maintain good mental focus everywhere from lap 1 to lap 160. Because if you have a lapse in focus at any point in the race, it could cost you the event.
Wouldn't doubt it at all, man. I tell you that. I tell you what, I just saw a moment ago. We saw the 98 there. We were watching him the entire time. He was end up side by side with another car there. He was trying to make a pass on somebody on the bottom, and he entered the corner on that little gray part right below the white line. There's that gray part, that regular part of the racetrack, and then it goes to that gray. As we got more battling up towards the front, something must have just happened up front. That 71 car Truel, I think, may have hit the wall off 4, and Heitman was able to get around. But what we saw there was just a car hitting that little bump on the inside. And when that happens, it gets so upset, the car almost wants to spin head on into the wall. But we got a battle for the lead here right now. Let's take a look at this right now. He's all over the back bumper. He wants that lead.
I think you see Delaney playing the air game right now, just dirty air blocking him. You'll see he's able to pull away because Joseph Galata's got to get out of the throttle there pretty quickly. But Galata gets a good launch off of turn 3 right there, but it's just really difficult if you're not close to that left or right rear going into the corner. It's just really hard. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just how these cars are designed. You have to play the air game. You have to play the track position game. You have to do a lot of things outside of the green flag racing to try to put yourself in a good position right now.
What I'm thinking about right now is that the top two have really separated themselves by quite a bit, but we also have Adam Benefiel, who had yesterday's race in the Xfinity Series here. Right here, battle for the lead. Here goes Galata to the bottom.
Yeah, Delaney had a little bit of a slip up coming off of turn 2, and if he can stay at this right rear, he'll still have a chance off of 4, but yeah, look at them. He's hanging on that right rear. He's pulling Galata back right there. He's still not clear, and I don't think he's going to get clear on the front stretch. He's right there. He's still there. He's able to clear him now. That's really big. I mean, he almost smacked the wall coming out of turn 4 also, but that's really big. You saw it right there. He had a good launch off of turn 2, and Delaney didn't have the best exit off of 2, and he was able to cash in, but that took about half the racetrack for that to work out for him.
Well, I do have to let you know, we just had a moment, I think. Bobby Anderson, who was running in the back of the field, decides to come down pit road, and I think he would be one of the first to actually head down pit lane, as we also have a retirement. Looks like that we have Daniel Llewellyn leaving the server. So something must have happened to the 32 car as well.
Trying to see if there was anything in particular.
Yeah, we want to get a view of this. Yeah, I just saw it. So the 5 car is fine, but the 32 car on lap 14, just last lap, got loose off of turn 4. And we got to see this. It's the 32 car had quite the moment, and I think he hit the end of the pit road barrier.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the other thing. This track slims up as you see the 32 machine getting black flag. Let's take a look at the replay. Our great producer, DJ, able to see if he can pull something up right here. You take a look at the beautiful housing development around Indianapolis. But I was able to catch it a little bit too. We might not have been able to have a camera on that, but it was really interesting accident.
Here we go. Yeah, it was. This is going into turn 1. It's on the opposite side of the racetrack. We'll have to see exactly how that goes down. But that 32 car, I mean, it looked bad. It looked dangerous. I'm glad this is a simulator, not real life, because my goodness, that looked like it hurt.
This is real interesting. The same thing happened with not Indianapolis. We're in Indianapolis now, but Dover. That's a real hard pit road to get onto. This is a deceptive pit road to get onto. You have to get woed up pretty quick, and you're going down one of the thinner pit roads that's on the service right now, as he's going to come through 3 and 4 right now. But I don't think this was a scheduled stop.
No, it wasn't a stop. He got loose right here.
Yeah, he got a little loose, and
it was a lap after. It was a lap after.
Yeah, there was a lap after this, but I remember seeing it, but
it's like, wow.
Yet everything's still single file up front. They have just put the 5 machine Bobby Anderson a lap down up here, but I think it's easy peasy up here in the top 5. We'll see if we can get that a little later, but right now the 32 machine is out of the event. He is hung up the virtual steering wheel.
That makes a total of 2 retirements. Dave Hoytsma is currently sitting on in the garage trying to get that thing fixed up, and then Daniel Llewellyn is also out at the moment. I think we might have it ready now. We'll see. Remember, it is coming out of turn number 4, and this hit is just worth looking at. That's why we're making such a big deal out of it. It's really worth looking at.
Then we got one of the best producers in the business, old DJ. He's going to have something pulled up here. Maybe here a little bit.
Yeah, there it is. He got loose. He's spinning it. He tries to avoid the inside wall. Still spinning it.
Oh, yeah. That's. I'm honestly. I know he was off the racing surface, but on iRacing, they use iRacing control cautions as well. But that would have brought out a yellow. That he doesn't have the luxury in real life. Just hit escape or Alt F4 to get off the racetrack. But that's just tough luck, as Joseph Galata is going to come down pit road for a green flag pit stop right now. As we're close to the fuel window, they might be shortchanging it just a little bit trying to get to the end of this stage. But yeah, it's first car down pit road. I don't think we have any other take. We have William Owens who's coming down again, but he was about to go a lap down anyway, so I think he's just trying to stay on pace with the leaders. Oh,
and Paul Hill. I mean, you see that, and Heitman coming down too.
There.
So with these guys coming down pit road, we're going to have to see how this works out, because this is going to be a tall tale sign for how the second stage is going to go. If it works out for them and they get green all the way to the end, it's a benefit to these guys, I think, if it's green to the end, because then they'll be able to catch up time on the guys that choose to pit later in the run. It's all about timing and just luck of when the cautions come out. So we'll have to see how it goes. We know there's one guaranteed at lap 50, though.
Yeah, that's about what I would, if I remember correctly, what the fuel window is, about 35 laps or so, 30 to 35. So they're obviously pitting because they're going to have to pit. Ooh, Paul Hill might have a little issue here. When he came off pit road, that's against the rules. He has to stay within that second line on the pit exit. If we were able to get a little view at that, it said he has to stay to the left of the white line that separates the racing surface from the apron. So I don't know if that's going to be a penalty for Paul Hill, but we'll see here in a moment.
So in this particular league, I think they go off of iRacing rules, and in iRacing, I haven't seen anybody get a black flag for that yet this week. It could be in real life.
I've had that happen. That's how I lost an Indy 500 this year.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the. Let's see if we can pull the rules up, but I think he might be okay because you can alter that. You have they have that one set of line where the pit lane line is. And then that second set that's kind of the apron, the shoulder of the racetrack, and then you have the racing surface. If you go past that first line, that's usually a penalty. But again, they could alter it as well, and I think that's what it is. I think Paul Hill's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's fine. We just found in the pit exit rule it's to the second line, at least in sim. So that's what we have for that. So we're covered there. But now, I mean, what I got to think about here is now Delaney, Benefield, these guys have got to be thinking long run, save as much tire as you can, but also don't let these guys, hop you. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to be able to hang on to the lead, even though, look at this, though. They have other cars that just pitted, like Heitman there, that is just in front of them. I mean, they're at the tail end of the lead lap, I think. Yeah,
I mean, you spent a long time down this pit road. It's one of the longer pit roads that you have all over racing, but just looking at the times comparatively, Joseph Galata right now is about 0.8 of a second slower than Jonathan Delaney right now. Now, he's got a little bit of clean air. He's got about a 25 car length deficit between him and the next guy ahead of him. I believe that's Larry McDonald up here. But he is about 0.8 of a second faster than our leader, Joseph Delaney, right now. So that's just big. That's a difference of 20 laps right there. But the other thing is, they were pretty close nose and tail right now, but every lap that he's out here, he's gaining about 7 to 0.8 net on him. So depending on when Jonathan Delaney and Adam Benefield pit, if they pit at a couple of laps, there won't be much of a deficit. Comparatively, by tires, they might be about a 10th quicker, but the longer they let this go and the longer that Delaney and Benefield are on the racetrack, that could end up being a bigger gap to the lead for the 66 machine.
If we could get an onboard shot of that 6 car looking forward, we know that this is the leader. If we can get an onboard shot of that 6 take a look. Every single car in front of him right now are on the tail end of the lead lap. These guys have already come down. They've taken tires. They chose to pit at exactly the right time, because if they would have waited any longer, that gap from them to the leader would have put them a lap down. They chose to come down and pit once they got a certain distance behind the leader where they knew they wouldn't lose a lap. And that is something that is absolutely intelligent by everybody who chose to pit. I mean, this was a strategy they made months ago. And so you got to think about that, because it's really smart. And now that this has been debuted in the first stage, I don't think it would be crazy to see this happen in the second stage if they're going for stage wins. If you're going for the win of the race, I don't know if this is necessarily the right move, but it is a move you can make for sure. But that 6 car now has to handle all the dirty air of those cars in front. And also, it's just going to be a lot more difficult. You're going to see more cars come down pit road. We just had Coffee come on down. So over time, different drivers making a lot of debuts this week from the Precision team that is deciding to come and race here. And I think Dylan would be able to attest to that. New drivers come to the Full Length Cup Challenge really rarely, but we got like 3 or 4 first-timers here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fun league. I had looked into trying to race in this, but then I saw the talent level. I'm like, yeah. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, somebody's got to run 40th each week. And, I was kind of on the fence about it. But, watching these races broadcasted the last few weeks, as the 30 just gives a lot of space there. I'm watching this 99, by the way. He's still about 0.4 of a second faster. But you always like new faces in a league. If they're competent level drivers, which all these guys are, if they're guys that have raced at a high level, which I've seen a couple of these days before, you welcome them. That's good. That's just extra competition. That makes everyone better as a whole. So, I mean, you might have a guy, say these 3 new faces, they argue for 5th, they argue for 15th, they argue for 20th. That's going to make everybody better around them as well, because they're like, well, I don't want this new guy to come in and beat me. But it makes you better as a whole when you add good competition. But I'm looking at, the difference between, again, our guy that was running second, Joseph Galata, who he was the leader when he pitted. He's still running 0.4 of a second faster than Jonathan Delaney. The big difference is Galata's got clean air and clean racetrack in front of him right now as you look at the Dyson machine. But right now, like you mentioned, Jonathan Delaney, he's going to have some lap traffic up here that he's going to have to deal with. He's catching just the tail end of dirty air with. So it's not like it's just smooth sailing for our leaders right now. And I'll tell you, there's going to probably be a pretty hefty gap between the Delaney machine and Joseph Galata.
Yeah, that's going to be the truth of the matter. You're going to see that gap. I don't think it's going to close anytime soon. But what was interesting is when we saw Alex Coffey come down pit road in pit just this last time by, he was around 11 or 12 seconds behind the leader. And when he came back out, you see he's currently just behind 3rd place, 1 lap down. So he's the first car 1 lap down, which reiterates what I was talking about earlier, where you had to pick the right time to come down pit lane. As soon as the door opens, you had to come down. I mean, it just makes sense to do that. But now you got drivers like Tyler Hunter here, who's on the tail end of the lead lap. These guys are battling with Neil Pearson, Derek Heitman, a lot of fast cars right in front of the leader. This is going to create a lot of dirty air for him, which is going to make it even more difficult to catch the driver we were speaking of a moment ago. I mean, he's got to have a lot of work to do to catch up to Galata, who's also making his first start, to my understanding. Joseph Galata, also doing the same thing with the first start.
Yeah, I know racing with Joseph Galata before. He's a really talented race car driver. He's really good here on the sim, and like I said, even the guys that might run in the bottom third of the pack. I've raced with a lot of this series before, just in official racing or in other events, and there's a lot of talent over here. So I mean, just because you see a guy, he might run 25th or 30th in this series, he could go to official race and just wax the field. Like, that's just the talent level of this. That's just the talent level of this series. I mean, you look at the SOF, the strength of field is about 4,100, and that's in a 40-car field. If you see a 4,100 in an official race, you might think, okay, out of the 20 cars racing, there might be 5 or 6 that are above a 5K I rating. But, you just look through all over this field. Like Joseph Galata's a 7K I rating. Jonathan Delaney, 6,800. I mean, you have a ton of guys above a 5K I rating, a 6K, even a 7K. Like Clayton Hoffman, who's running here in the 6th position. He's a 7,500. Now, I rating isn't always the greatest tell of talent in a driver, but once you start getting to that level, you have to do something right, because there's ways you can inflate that number a little bit, whether it's a series you like, or, a series goes to a track that you really like, and, you can boost that number a little bit. But once you start getting past the 5K area and you can maintain it and get higher, that's where you see guys that can really drive. And you have guys that are, in the mid 3,000s and the low 4,000s that can drive as well.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of different speed throughout the field, but they're all, these guys are top class. It's going to be a lot of hard driving to be able to make that happen. We just saw the 80 car speed on entry. That is Larry McDonald at the back of the field. His day has gone from hard to worse very quickly, so he's going to have to find a way to come back from that. And luckily for him, it happens early. Beat that in the stages. We also saw Dyson come down pit road with no issues. But remember, Dyson was running 3rd, and he was only like maybe 3 or 4 seconds behind the leader whenever he came down. And now if you look at where he is on the racetrack in comparison to those other drivers who are right at the tail end of the lead lap, he is pretty far ahead and right ahead of the driver he needs to beat tonight, which is Paul Hill. He's ahead of him. He's got plenty of gap to him. And I don't think that Paul Hill is going to be able to actually catch him back.
Yeah, Paul Hill, like I said, there's a lot of race to go. We got 130 laps to go this time. So, anything can happen right now. But Paul Hill, he's in a pretty good position right now. Even in spite of where he is, basically on track right now. But, it's just good to see. He got a little loose there off the corner there. You see that? He got a little, almost got pulled around with the side draft, but he's able to pass that 2 car right pretty easily. But
that's Hoffman. Yeah,
that is Hoffman. That's correct. Yeah, my apologies. But that's long race to go. So I wouldn't think guys are worried about track position right now. They have at least a guaranteed caution left in the red, 2 guaranteed cautions. But, you know, again, I can't stress it enough. There's a lot of race left.
You know, one of my favorite things to talk about is with this, there's so much strategy. This is one of those races that I find enjoyable because you can win by not having the fastest car this week. If you have a car that is maybe not the best setup, maybe not the best running car, you could still win if you have the best strategy in the field. It's all about how it works out there. But in terms of getting points, you'll always see those cars in the fast cars end up getting great stage points. They're going to be able to make it to the end further and go further. You have drivers who are staying out longer, like the tail end of the top 10. Chris Davis, Dylan Kritz, Thomas Kulmacheski, Williams, Hunter Trull. These guys, they are going to have a decent point state, but they got to come down and pit soon. I mean, the Xfinity car can only go 35 laps. We're going to find out real quick by who stays out the longest, what the stints are here in the Cup car. But when they do end up coming down pit road, it's important to keep an eye on it. You got cars running new fastest lap, like Adam Benefield. He just came down pit road. He's out 15th now, right behind Dyson and Hill. He slotted in right there, running quick lap times. Delaney has an odd position because he's 3 seconds ahead of second place. He has Dirty Air in front of him, almost 4 seconds now. I mean, I don't know when the time to pit would be, but if he is staying out this long, he's staying out all the way to the end, to where he runs out of gas. I don't anticipate him staying out much any shorter or trying to short pit. He's going to be the leader either way. And he's running fast lap times, to say the least. Like Delaney is running lap times right now at 52.5. Right, Dylan? So we just had somebody come down pit road and run a handful of laps. Dyson is running 52.4s, so less than a tenth. His best bet is to stay out and just don't worry about anything. Just keep running. You can take a look at the last laps right there on the side of your screen.
I mean, you look at that, though, but Joseph Galata's still been running faster laps. That last time by, that's really the base of this, because Joseph Galata came down from the top 2, correct? And he came down pit road, and he pitted on lap 18. It's now lap 32. So he's gained, those first couple laps, he gained almost a second on there. So you think that's 5 seconds of the bank. Every lap after that's been about 2 to 3/10 of a second. So I would say if he pits over some part of this stage, there's going to be about anywhere from a 5 to 8 second gap back to Jonathan Delaney if they should pit. But Joseph Galata, I mean, I think this is a pretty swell move, because you'd have to imagine that, you know, even if these guys pit, like, let's say lap 40, you know, or even 45, you would have a big advantage there, because they wouldn't be able to make up that time in such a short amount of time. But with the stage break, he'd be able to get fresh tires anyway. He'd still be at a tire advantage. So I think this is Joseph Galata playing the long game here, guys that pitted early on like that.
Yeah, I think you have a point. It's going to work out for Galata, I think, without a caution. I mean, Delaney, I think, is going to be banking on something happening here. It's going to be exciting to see how it works out, but you can now look at all the cars on track. There are few and far between in terms of cars that are like nose to tail, unless you get all the way back here to Williams. There's that group of cars, 4 or 5 cars right here entering turn 1 right now. Dylan Kritz really wants to get by Steven Williams, but he hasn't been able to actually do it yet.
No, he's struggled a little bit with that dirty air, but, you know, that's the other thing is the way all these different strategies, you know, is Joseph Galata pitting early a good strategy? I mean, right now it's paying off, but you got to think about it. Joseph Delaney, you know, if he had the clean air right now that the 99 has right now, you know, I'd imagine he'd be running a whole lot faster. But right now he's struggling with guys that had pitted, and he was just way faster then, but he's struggling with dirty air with his car right now, which is going to upset the balance of his car. So, I mean, it's, I don't want to say luck of the draw, but I mean, it helps a lot depending on what position on the racetrack you are in relation to other cars.
You know, one thing I'm thinking about watching this, in the main point that we have, is the gaps between these guys are just so big, it's so hard to make any runs. But I gotta say, I'm starting to see a battle here with Cameron Stone. If we can get a camera on that 19th right now, it looks like. We got Jeremy Miller all over the back bumper. He was trying to make a pass on that 57 for the last handful of laps. That 57's really quick. He's got a lot of speed in that car, and I'm always a fan of seeing Stone out there drive that Coors Light car as fast as it can. But that P car right behind him, precision car, just with a giant P on it, trying to catch back up to him. I mean, it's always entertaining because once you catch him, it's easy. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the P on the front end.
Yeah, no,
you're what's
right.
there.
Hey,
yeah, I mean,
that's you can't get more descriptive than that. But yeah, the P car. That's
I can't even. That's what it is. The P car. It's right there. I mean,
you're correct. I'm not trying to argue with you there, but
I got you.
Exactly
I got
correct.
you. Might as well have a good time, right? I mean, that's the thing. You got Jeremy though; he's catching them, but they also got Matthew Long there battling with the 76 of Heitman. Once you get to the back bumper, yeah, that's the easy part. But getting by him, normally you have to either like ask him, "Hey, can you let me pass you, please?" or like something like that. They ain't gonna listen to you. They're gonna battle you hard. These guys are top tier guys. They're not gonna just move out of the way like someone like me would do. It's just not quite in the same battle.
I think something on the contrary to that, at this point in the race, if someone is faster, it's just easier to let them go because, something stupid could happen or something crazy, if you're...
Oh, Sanner, Chad Sanner. He just spun out turn number 2, Chad Sanner in the 94 car.
And I think he's got it going there. They're going to keep it green right now. He's got it going on the access road right now, but I'm curious to see what happened there. I saw the tail end of that. Here's the replay our great producer JD pulled up for us. There's a gaggle of cars right here head down to turn 1 as he's trying to dive to the inside, get a little clean air right there, and see if he might have caught the curb or got a little too low. No, back end just stepped out in front of him, but just a nice little drift. Babcock ran over, couldn't tell who that was, but just a harmless drift all the way down to the access road. But we keep it green, and Chad's got a little bit of an uphill battle to get through the rest of this way.
I always try. Sorry for yelling. It's just anytime there's a car, I see smoke on track. I gotta see it, man. I gotta find it as quick as I can. Get it on camera.
Gotta know. I mean, I did that. I was with Justin Prince last week, who's not here this week. But anytime there was something on the racetrack, I made sure to let him know. But
yeah, I'm looking right now at the front end of the 66 car. Actually, Paul Gallimore, he's running in 30th. He's a lap down. But I was looking at his front end. It looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the left front part of that race car.
Yeah, I wonder where he got that, because I was just looking at that too, because I'd try to figure out where he might have got that from. But that's another thing. Even, like last week at Dover, that probably doesn't make just a huge difference handling. I mean, it changes the handling of the race car, but it's not big. But here, the handling is one thing, but you got to worry about the aero. I mean, you're going down about 190 miles an hour into the corners here, and you really don't want the aero balance of that car upset. And it could even create some unwanted drag. They call it parachuting. It's like, you ever watch those NHRA cars, they get done with their run, they pull the parachute out, and, they go from, whatever, the fastest lap ever ran yesterday was like 342 miles an hour. They pull the parachute. It helps it get slowed down to a reasonable speed, but it kind of works in that same way. It's pulling air off of the front of the car, and it's affecting the balance of the race car, essentially, and it's making you slower. If you look that, this 66 Paul Gallimore, he's got a couple cars behind me, Thomas Kolmachecki and Hunter Trull. I probably just butchered the heck out of his name. He got a little loose. Kolmachecki, that's right. I had it written down too. That's the crazy part. But you see, they're gaining on him, and they've been similar stature cars all throughout the race. But because of that little bit of damage, he's going to have issues coming down both the front and the back stretch here the rest of the race until he gets that fixed.
We got more cars coming down pit road. I think we're coming to the end of their fuel life right here. We're on lap 40. And remember, we had the caution in the beginning. However, but with that caution that came out, that gave him a few extra laps. And now that Williams coming in, he came in from the top 10. We saw Rose come down. I think we're going to start seeing Delaney might come down this time or next time by. That 6 car, he is loose out of turn number 3. He is fighting that 6 car as much as he can. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at the top groups. I think DeCiani in second is now coming down, as well as Clayton Hoffman. And it looks like Jonathan Delaney is going to stay out. Jacob Simpson's going to stay out. And it looks like that Kulmacheski's staying out. Trull's coming down. Hang on to it, Trull. He almost just wrecked the thing. He ain't gone to the race car.
Yeah, I was kind of on the nose about what I thought this fuel run would be. If it was anywhere from 35 to 40 laps, I mean, it's a little longer than that now because we're entering lap 41. But I'm just going off of the knowledge, the base knowledge that I had in the past year. But that's an important number because you're able to split these stages kind of evenly and still be okay. Last week, depending on when you pitted, if you pitted too early, you'd have to pit a second time. But now you could just split it right down the middle or even be good a couple laps either way, as Delaney's going to come down now, lap 41. But right now he's locking the tires up coming down.
He's trying to get every mile an hour he can. He's trying to get everything he can.
Oh, yeah, he has to get down to pit road speed for those yellow cones. They changed this pit road with the new scan. It used to be you had to be, I want to say, about 3 or 4 boxes into the pit road, or even with the tires to be down to pit road speed, but you had to be down way earlier than that. I think that's a real-life safety measure that they had, because you'd have guys still over 100 miles an hour in the IndyCar. Now, those are way better brakes than these cars, but that would create issues with that pit road that juts out like that.
You know, I find it interesting here. We're going to be able to see how this works out. Kumachevsky stays out an extra lap along with Dylan Kritz and Dustin Hall. These guys staying out is kind of going to show us around with one caution in there how many laps they can go. If they have a caution right now to push the 42 laps, we'll see if Kumachevsky heads in this time as we see the 6 of Delaney head out. We'll see where he stacks up when it comes to Gulata. Gulata is out of turn 2. He's way ahead of Delaney. Delaney is just gotten way passed on by. So with that in mind, Kumachevsky's heading down, and we also have Kritz heading down, so it looks like 42, 43 laps is going to be, with a single caution, the amount of time these guys can go without needing a pit stop for gas.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. I think if you're real generous and, you're in the draft decent amount, you could probably stretch it to 45, but that looks like our fuel window for tonight, about 38 to 45 laps. I think 42 is kind of on the more generous, or 45 is on the more generous side, but 42, you think Jonathan Delaney was in clean air a lot. He was using a lot more gas. I don't think he was just trying to save, but I think if you stay in the draft with someone and you just stay how you are, just in the draft with somebody you're even lifted earlier, you'll be able to stretch it to 45, but that's probably about the round number, 40. But right now, give a call to my buddy Dustin Hall up here in P1 right now. He's leading the lap right now. That beautiful Team Conti machine right there, and the Ross Chastain number font on the side. I'm a big Dustin Hall fan. I like to talk about a lot of these guys out there at the field, but I've been around Dustin a little bit here in the past on iRacing. Long time ago, back in the COVID days. But he's had some solid runs. I believe last week he had an okay run at Dover, but he's done a good job of the races I've seen. He's going to come down and relinquish the lead now.
Delaney, by the way, has lost so many spots. He's outside the top 10. He's gone. I mean, something must have happened to that 6 car where he lost a lot of time. He's pretty far back.
I'm just looking right now, just the cars ahead of him. Matthew Long pitted on lap 29. Cameron Stone, lap 19. Clayton Hoffman's on lap 40. Now, he lost some time to that machine. Ralph Hutchison, lap 17, 20. All these guys pitted significantly earlier, and they were able to make up a lot of time on Jonathan Delaney. It's what I mentioned earlier. You might not think, okay, well, he's running 0.3 of a second slower than the guys that just pitted, but now it's making a difference. So that gap, it's essentially, like I said, it's a net gain. So right now, Joseph Gulata and Adam Benefiel actually came out pretty good in that. He pitted 10 laps later than Joseph Gulata, but he's still got a deficit while they were just basically nose to tail before they started to pit. But right now, that's big depending on when you pit, because now Delaney's 13 seconds behind Joseph Gulata after the net gain. Now he's going to make up some by the end of the stage, but right now, I mean, that's where you show the strategy right now. That was a decision by Joseph Gulata. It looks like a good decision. It might get him a stage win.
I mean, this car's fast. I mean, that 99 making his first start here today, at least that I'm aware of, this car's just got a lot of speed in it. CFM brought a really nice package here today, and they are showing exactly why they are doing so dang well. They got 2 laps to hang on to it once they hit the stripe, and then we'll get the into stage 1 here in a little bit. It's going to be exciting to see, but let's take a look at the top 10 real quick and note some interesting drivers that are here. Clayton Hoffman, remember the 92 car? He started 31st. He's out up to 7th, making a pass on Ralph Hutchinson side by side for the 6th place spot. So that 92, he's got a lot of speed in that car, and VRS has really prepared him something nice, and we'll see how well he's able to hang on to that race car as they come down to get just a handful more laps before the end of the stage.
Yeah, he's got that car moving right now up here. It's set sail right now. I mean, that's a good looking machine right there.
25 spots. Holy cow. You look at that. That's wild. Not to mention, not just him. You got Heitman there. Started 35th. He's up to 11th. Great day for both of those guys. The amazing thing
is how difficult it is to pass here. And they made up all those spots. If they had jumped from 30th to 20th, I think, okay, that's probably as good as you can get. But you got to think all the dirty air and how difficult it is to pass here. They've made up that many positions. That shows how basically on a rail those cars are.
Yeah, and it's all because of the strategy they pulled. I mean, they did exactly the right thing, following what Galata just did. And now we're coming down to the end of this thing, but I think that Hoffman has a chance to catch to the back bumper of the Hoytsma. Hoffman really is really quick. I think he might get a top 5 here. He's all over the back bumper of that 97 car.
Yeah, he's looking real good right now. I mean, he's reeling him in, but also, you look there, there's also a tire difference there. There's about a 20-lap difference in tires. So I think Clayton Hoffman's, unless anything crazy happens, I think he's going to end up into the top 5 by the end of this stage. But again, it all depends on the dirty air. We saw it, we've seen it before in real life with the next-gen car. And even in this similar event, dirty air could buy you a good amount of time, but I don't think it's going to buy him enough time or be enough of a factor here with such a discrepancy in tires right now. But look, Lucas Hoytsma's doing a good job holding him off there. But again, if he could disrupt the aero balance of that car, I don't think he's going to be able to do it that time. Hoffman's going to be at his left rear. He's going to make this pass easy going down to 1.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm very surprised whenever it comes down to this in-season tournament. Dyson and Hill, 3rd and 4th, they have been stuck together like 2 peas in a pod. They just can't seem to get away from each other. That 80 car is having some problems, so he's getting out of everybody's way. You got to give him some respect for that. Thank him for doing the right thing to do, just letting these fast guys go. But you can see it right there. They're both in the picture. I mean, they're going to be battling for this money, and they're going to do whatever it takes to try and earn that money.
Oh, 100%. Like we said, it's one thing if, like I'll give you an example tomorrow. Ty Dillon and Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs got a good car. Ty Dillon, I think he's going to be like mid-20s, but, Ty Dillon's got one focus. He's trying to beat that 54 car. I mean, Ty Gibbs has other obligations. He's trying to win the actual race, but, it almost makes it, you kind of relieve yourself of some pressure knowing, if you just have to beat one guy, that's a heck of a day. I mean, if Paul Hill finishes 22nd and Andrew Dyson finishes 23rd, that's a heck of a day for Paul Hill. He might be disappointed in the 22nd, considering where he's running, but, if he leaves out of here with what is it, $250, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, that's a good day at the office.
Well, I will tell you this, though. Those guys, they're fast, no matter what. But we're coming down to the end of this thing, but I do got to let you know that Dyson has the most wins on the entire season. After Dover, he has 4 wins. But we also got Paul Hill with 2. So, I mean, finishing 20th is not a day they would enjoy unless it's ahead of the other guy. I see what you're trying to say there. It's just now Galata here just got to hang on to the race car for one more lap, it looks like, and then he'll have this stage in the bag.
I'd say one big thing here is what's going to happen on pit road at this stage. Is everybody pit? Because those guys that came down on lap 40, I'd imagine everybody's going to come down and pit, but I mean, this is a net positive if you're Joseph Galata, Adam Benefield, because Jonathan Delaney was looking really stout at the start of this race. A lot of these guys, it shuffled the lineup. I mean, you have guys like, mentioned Paul Hill, Andrew Dyson. They gained a handful of spots. They were running the edge of the top 10. Now they're solidly in the top 5 based on how these pit cycles cycled out. But Joseph Galata is going to come around turn 4, win this stage, it looks like.
99 car, you see it first time here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the full-length Cup Challenge. He's going to head down the long straightaway, and when he crosses that stripe, he is going to be our newest stage winner for the full-length Cup Challenge here at Indy. That's awesome. Good for him and that 99 team. Rounding out your top 10, it's going to be Benefield, Hill, Dyson, Hoffman, Hoytsma, Hutchinson, Long, Stone, and Delaney will round out your top 10 finishers for this stage. We're going to take a quick step aside. Please stay with us. This is Maconi Entertainment here live for the Full-Length Cup Challenge. We'll see you back here in just a few moments after a word from our sponsors.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Said Adam was a big old disappointment, a big old disappointment. Said he don't take me to the party, don't take me to the party. All the drugs, the love, the flash. Is he dying? He's dying. Said Adam, you ain't nothing but a criminal, nothing but a criminal with an ice cold stare. That's typical. Is it typical? And you think he must be hurt in the kitchen? Adam on the carpet. Adam, do you wanna hold me one more time? I'm dying. And you said Adam was a big old disappointment, a big old disappointment. Said he don't take me to the party, don't take me to the party. All the drugs, the love, the flash. Is he dying? He's dying. You said Adam, you ain't nothing but a criminal, nothing but a criminal with an ice cold stare. That's typical. Is it typical? And you think he must be hurt in the kitchen? Adam on the carpet. Adam, do you wanna hold me one more time? I'm dying.
Welcome back to Maconi Entertainment's production of the Full Length Cup Challenge here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We are back, ready to get things back underway. Bit of a mix-up up front after pit stops. Jonathan Delaney up front. Matt DeCianti is outside. We had some pit stops that had some errors. Paul Hill lost a handful of spots after sliding through his box. We're about to get back underway, and we'll be able to talk about that more right after this restart. Pace car is going to dive back into the pit lane, and we're about to get second stage back underway here in just a few moments. And we're back underway, just like that. Great jump by Delaney. He chose the bottom of the racetrack. He did that the first time, and it worked for him here again, as it looks like more cars are starting to slip and slide to the lane of choice through turn number 1.
Big jump by Delaney right there. He's clear by about half a second now. Holy cow. He got shot out of a cannon on that restart.
Looks like Jacob Simpson has a penalty. He's going to have to come back down pit road. 2-car.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that penalty was. He's right in front of the leaders right now, so I don't know exactly what happened with that penalty. See if we get some clarity on that. But just a good launch. I mean, it's such an advantage to be the leader at this race because, I mean, you could control the restart. You can pick each lane. So, I mean, especially here, you get a good start. You know, you can pick things up in the restart box. I mean, you can just get a good launch. I mean, look right now, Delaney is just able to set sail.
Yeah, Heitman just made a 3-wide move here. Still 3-wide heading into turn number 1 right here. Hang on.
That ain't going to work, boys. Oh, they finally backed out of it.
Oh, Benefield didn't. He's on the storm point spot.
Cow.
Oh, he turned him. He turned him into the 41's involved. He got Matthew Long involved as well. They come up the racetrack and collect Chad Sanner. 3 cars. Oh, my goodness. Oh, of course it wasn't going to work, Dylan. 3-wide. And Benefield just absolutely did not choose to lift at all. He just kept going. He didn't care Lucas was there. Let's take a look at that replay.
I think he lifted as much as he could. He got down to the 130s mile per hour wise. So I think he was just, his bed was made right there. They just ran out of room where the track thins up there. But that was I'm surprised that wasn't a bigger wreck than it was. You know, that included Matthew Long and Lucas Hoytsma, but you had Chad Sanner coming out of pit road with 2 cars slide in front of him there. But that's that's a big one.
You hate to see it too. Can we go on board with I think that the best view for this, let me get the right guy. I got to make sure I got the name for it. I think the best one to be able to see this is the 41 of Dyson. If you're on board with Dyson, you'll see it really up close. But Hall here, let's see how he got through it. He comes back on the racetrack, slam on the brake, trying to miss it.
Oh yeah,
like,
he was off for the ride. Yeah, that's one of those. I mean, you think they're stopped and they go one way, they go the other way, but I mean he was hard on the brakes, and you know people are gonna say, oh, that's an ARCA brake, but I mean it's once you get the front brakes to lock, you're locked for the ride. You just hope for the best, but that's just wow. I could tell who we're on board with there. I believe that was the 41 Dyson. He's gonna have a lot of front end damage. He's Adam Benefield's tore up I think the right front's actually in better condition than I initially thought. It's just the fender messed up, but that right front still looks pretty straight, so he'd be able to get that fixed to get back up there. But that was wild. I told you, hey, you could go 3-wide, but it doesn't work when you go into turn 1 or turn 3. You could be 3-wide off of 2 and 4, but into 1 and 3, you're carrying so much speed, and you know, you get up in the marbles. If you're that top car, you're already in trouble.
And obviously he didn't do it on purpose. It was just hard racing early on 3-wide. He can't do anything about that. That 41 car, though, absolutely is in a position where he cannot have things like that happen to him. He's going for this in-season tournament. He cannot get this type of damage this early on. I think that he might be he's choosing to stay out with that damage. We have a couple cars heading in, like Adam Benefield, he's choosing to come in. A few more cars. We got Brandon Hastings choosing to head in. A few more include Chris Davis, Hunter Truel, Jeremy Miller, Williams. These guys are all choosing to come down now. But remember, we just had our first caution of the stage, so that means we could see them go 42 to 43 laps total from the restart. So we could expect to see them making it to about maybe lap 82, 83, maybe 84, if with the pace laps from the initial caution as well. You can see Adam trying to lift out as much as he could. I mean, he did everything he could to try and avoid contact with him, but the contact happened and he turned him, and now they got to get that damage repaired and get back out on the racetrack and try to come back from that and, you know, avoid that incident again.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it over the radio after it happened. Adam was saying, like, he tried to give him room, but, you know, they were both so far up the track. I mean, There comes a point where if you lift too much, it can cause an even bigger accident. But he had to get down into 130 at a track that's like 150, or at a corner that's 150, 155. So I mean, it was just not enough. They just ran out of room. That's basically all it was.
Running out of room. That seems to me how it works here once you go into a corner 3 wide. That is for sure. And not to mention they were up in the marbles too. So up there in those marbles, it's so hard to get grip. But now let's go ahead and start talking about this top 10 because things have really shuffled up in the entirety of the top 10. Let's go ahead and start at the top first. Delaney.
Well, I hate to interrupt, but Adam Benefield said the car is toast. He is done for the night. So I hate to interrupt there. He said that over the radio. It's apparently too much damage. So I hate to see that. Adam Benefield was the top 5 tonight. That
is odd to hear. I don't know where he got all that damage because it doesn't look that bad. I'm looking at the race car. Looks fine. I mean, not sure. His contact was very light. I don't anticipate that being really the end of it. I mean, that's surprising. Sure. Let's go ahead and bring in Matt DeCiani. He's going to be with Dylan here in just a moment. Matt DeCiani here with us. Dylan, go ahead.
Matt, you got a copy? Matt DeCiani, you got a copy?
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah, it could be a little better. But we can hear you good enough right now if you can get a little closer to the mic if possible. But right now, you got a good look at the front of the field here. You're running second right now. I mean, you pitted on lap 40. Were you worried about the tire discrepancy with all these guys that pitted on lap 20 and pitted at the stage break?
On 10-lap tires, not really. If I had to go 20-25, probably be a difference. But yeah, not with 10 laps.
How big is the, obviously you have a lot of issues with the air, if you're behind somebody, but have you noticed just a huge difference when you're right behind a car?
Yeah, I mean, it's anywhere back from like half a second, 6/10. You feel it. The front end just doesn't want to turn. So yeah, it's really bad. It's really hard to pass. And yeah, you just got to kind of hopefully get guys in the start here and hope guys in front of you make mistakes.
Right now, running in second place, started in 7th, so you moved up a couple spots. Before we cut you loose, you want to thank anybody or shout anybody out?
Yeah, thanks for you guys for calling the race. Bye for putting on the league.
All right, that is Matt DeCiani. Matt, good luck the rest of the way. We'll see if we can talk to you at the end.
Thanks, guys.
As Matt DeCiani, Kirk, back to you as we're getting ready for the restart here.
Yeah, I mean, we have a handful of cars out of the race so far. Dave Hoytsman's out. Daniel Llewellyn. Jedi Taylor's also out of the race. William Owens is currently 15 laps back, but he's still competing. We also have Larry McDonald at the tail of the field, 2 laps down. Jacob Simpson's in the back, 2 laps down. Hunter Truell and Chad Sanner are also 2. Hunter Truell is actually out of the race as well. But those are all the cars that are not in the lead lap. Total of 26 cars are still out here on the racetrack trying to make things work. That 6 car leading the way. We'll see if he gets the same jump he had before here on this restart. He sure does. Just like that.
A great restart for Matt. Oh, he got backed up a little bit. His top line's not in good shape.
Galata definitely had a heck of a jump there. He was able to actually get pretty far into the corner. But he's side by side. DeCiani with Coffee here. Hang on to the thing. We're still side by side for third place now as Galata's trying to follow Coffee through, but Coffee's got to lift a little bit more. He's got older tires.
Delaney's set sail right now. They had so much calamity on that top. Looks like they're going to be 3 wide again back there for third place right now. As looks like the 99 Galata shut the door there to the middle, but that could have been big right there as they'll head into 3 and 4. But yeah, right now, the more laps that they tick off, the more that tire discrepancy becomes smaller and smaller.
Holy cow, he just almost squeezed him into the wall. Heitman had the outside line on Galata. Galata tried to shut the door, and he thought better of it, but he made some contact thinking about it. As they have cars going down wide in the back of the field, it looks like that one car, the 97 Hoytsma, had to go all the way down near the itinerary, what do they call it? Attenuator at the end of the pit lane.
That's the word.
Attenuator, yeah, that's the one. Top 5 has really gotten singled out top 6, but now they got the side-by-side battle right here with Eddie Rose and the 57 Cameron Stone.
Starting to get single file out there about the top 10. They're side-by-side. I think that's 11th or 12th, but right now it's kind of the same thing. You just want to see laps tick it off. It's kind of been a carbon copy of the first stint, or the first stage as well. You had that really early yellow. Now, it wasn't as early as that one was, but they start to see that wreck. It was that was the biggest wreck of the night. It took about 5 or 6 cars with it, but right now I think they're going to try to chill and just try to get close to the stage break or they'll set a pit stops and then Okay, loose. Oh, someone's loose coming off the corner as he's got to go down pit road. Who is that? That's Joseph Galata. Had to go down pit road. He was full speed coming off the wall when that happened. He's got an issue, it looks like, with the left front.
That was absolutely unexpected. That 99 car doing that. I think that he was actually trying to just save the race car. I don't. Oh yeah, he was just really loose, and he chose to go down pit road. Great save, but he's going to get a penalty from that for speeding on pit lane.
I don't know how
they might clear it.
I don't know how the admin will handle that, but I mean, he did. If it's anything like NASCAR in real life, if you try to make an attempt to slow down, I think they give you a little grace, but that's big. That's going to hurt Joseph Galata, who's going to be close to the last car of the lead lap. But let's see if they waive that for him. But I think he's got a hold right now. He's come down into his pit box, so he's going to go at least one lap down. I don't know how long that hold's going to be, but that was crazy. I looked at the way his car was. It was coming down pit road. It looked like the left front was down. It looked like he had made some contact there, but everything looks to be fine on there. He just almost scraped the wall, just saved it, just drove down pit road.
Well, with that in mind, you got to be thinking about this. Now that's going to essentially take him out of the race. It's going to be really hard to come back from that. But we just now had a pass up towards the front now, and we got DeCiani now all over the back bumper of Delaney. I mean, that Ford car, it's pretty cool to see him up towards the front of this thing, actually trying to, do really well. He's one of the most consistent guys in the entire series to the statistics. He has one of the best average running positions, one of the best average finishing positions in the whole field, but he hasn't had a win yet. Even if you look at the point standings, I think he's the last driver in the point standings without a win. He has the highest points, I believe. Let me double check to make sure that is right. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but yeah, he's almost, he has 50 more points than the next best guy. So with that in mind, DeCiani, his win is coming. He's in a good position. He's in second right now. He's just got to get by one of the best in the business, Jonathan Delaney, to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big ask right now for him to try to get past John Delaney. He might be close here. He's going to do it. He's going to go down. No, he's going to get moved down to the grass right now. But I mean, that's big right there. He's blocking the air, using the air, of course, to block him as well. That just said the same thing twice. But I mean, that's the thing about Matt DeCiani. I've done some research on this league and just watched a bunch of races. He's kind of like that Mark Martiner. He's kind of like right now today, at least in the Xfinity Series. Oh, he got a little loose off 4. He's got to get out of it.
Nice save. That was a save.
Golly. He's going to lose a position or two, but that's very direct race car. But I bet you he's kind of like that Connor Zilic right now after he had that wreck at Dega. He's been one of the most consistent drivers. Everywhere that they go, he's always got a good chance to win. He's very lucky that this race is still going on after that.
Yeah, Heitman got by him. He drops back to third. Now Derek Heitman, he's one of those guys that's fast, and he's showing faster lap times. This last time by, he ran a 52.4. Leaders at a 52.3, so not quite leaders pace, but he's right there. And I think that 4 car also he's got to be able to get that car under control. But he was almost going for the lead, but he just got a little loose out of turn 4, it looks like.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You put so much of a load on that right rear. This track likes to eat up tires, whether it's the right front or the right rear. If you drive the car off the right rear, it's going to make it looser over the course of the run. I mean, we're about, Matt DeCiani's got about 24, 25 laps on these tires now. About a third of that was under yellow. But if you're on the gas a lot and this car's loose on exit, it's going to burn up that right rear and make the right rear hot, and of course also wear it down. But that's going to upset the balance of the car. It's going to make it want to dance coming out of turn 2 and out of turn 4 as you try to get back at the gas down these front and back straightaways.
Coffee coming down pit road. You're on board with him now. This is going to be his first stop of this little run here. And I think he's going to be able to make it to the end of the stint with this particular stop. So with that in mind, he's chose to come down early, get as much as he can, and go from there. He's trying to go backwards, trying to flip the stage. Flip the pit strategy in the stage. So we're gonna see if it worked out for him, because it worked out earlier for the leaders, but only to a point, because we saw the guys that chose to pit early. I mean, they're not necessarily up towards the front. Some of them are, but not every one of them. So we'll see how it goes over time. But we got a little bit of a line here. Let's talk about somebody I'm surprised to see up front. Tyler Hunter. He's running in the 6th place spot. He has had one of the hardest seasons out of any driver. He's getting involved in accidents that aren't of his doing a handful of times this season. But look at him. He's now in the top 10, doing a great job with CFM backing, doing exactly what he needs to do in a great spot. I think that 48 car is going to be someone to keep an eye on throughout the race.
I would agree with that, but a big thing in this, everybody in this series could drive, everyone, but it's, he's having a really good night tonight. It's, if you could stay out of trouble, there's been a handful of wrecks all around the front of this field, and a lot of issues up front, but you keep the nose clean, you keep the car clean, and, you just get to the end, you'll have a good shot at a pretty good finish here.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it, and we got a black flag for the 8 car. He was running in 11th place. Something just happened to that car right there. Did he speed on entry? He has had a really chaotic year when it comes to pit road speeding penalties. He has done this at least in the last 5 races.
He was just coming down to pit. He was too hot. He was about 75 miles an hour, and it's 50.
You hate to see it. He's been a driver that's really aggressive on his entries, but that seems to be a very common penalty for that car. He's got to be able to try and come back from that. He's got a long way to go, but Hutchinson speeding on pit road again.
Yeah, it's big, but again, you have a lot of race left. You have just under 100 laps to go, so I mean, this isn't a race killer, but you're certainly going to be uphill now, but you have you have 2 good cars that are going to be a lap down now. You have Joseph Galata and Ralph Hutchison are going to end up being a lap down, but it's going to be an intense battle for the Lucky Dog. I think Chad Sanders in the Lucky Dog spot right now, but that's 2 really good cars, a top 10 car and a car that was leading the race that are both 1 lap down right now. It's kind of the same situation we had last week. We had the car of the race. He had a little issue. He was on a different strategy than everyone else. He ended up getting wrecked, and then he comes back through the field. He could never get back on the lead lap, but that was just, again, that's the big thing I mentioned before. Stay out of trouble. Don't shoot yourself in the foot, and get to the end of the race. You can have a good finish.
I like the way that you spelled dog there, DJ. Dog, man. He's a lucky dog. Yeah, he's rocking. Oh, man. Okay, here to hounds. All right, Mr. Burns, someone's screaming, release the hounds. Okay, but Chad, he's in a good spot. He doesn't have to worry about Galata, I think, for a while, because Galata right now is, I think, exiting turn number 2. And when we look at Chad Sanner, he's all the way off turn 4. So he's got a huge gap to this guy. So it's going to be a while before Galata can even catch him. But I think that's not something out of the question. But let's go back and actually run through the top 10. This is what I've been wanting to do since the beginning here. We're on lap 70. Might as well give a mid-race little report here on our top 10 guys, starting with 10th. Our guy, Thomas Kulmacheski, he was up front. He stayed out late in the last run. He's just hanging on to the tail end of the top 10, trying to catch up to the back bumper of Hoytsma, trying to get the job done, and he might do it. He's all over the back bumper. He's got to run. He chooses not to make any move and instead push the 97 a little further forward. But great day for Kulmacheski out of the starting line for 10th place.
Yeah, I mean, just a good, solid race for him so far. But there's going to be a lot of strategy that comes up here the next couple laps. You're going to see, people are going to try to shortchange the stage, because this is about where guys started to pit the last stage. But, I mean, it's going to be big coming through here. But you look at that 97 machine right now, he's done a good job to kind of knife his way through the field since the restart of the stage. But, again, a lot of race left here. Lucas Hoytsma right now running P9. He's one of the biggest movers in the race, or one of the biggest losers of the race right now. He started 4th, but he's back up to 9th. There's a lot of comers and goers here. That's the other thing Indianapolis produces. You look at how hard it is to pass, but, you have Derek Heitman right now, who's right in 2nd position. He started 35th. And then you have Jonathan Delaney, who started on the pole. He really hasn't been, at the end of the stage, he was outside the top 5, but it's a lot of just moving and shaking with the different strategies as well. You're going to see guys that are inside the top 10 at points, then they'll be outside the top 20, and then anywhere in between.
Yeah, that 97 is with Ralph Hutchinson Motorsports running there in 9th, doing a great job today. He's will have a couple wins on the season, but now we're moving up to the 92 of Clayton Hoffman. And I got to tell you, Hoffman is one of those guys that you just know is going to be there at the end of the day. Clayton, he's for Altus Esports. He's right now running on his lonesome right now, but that 92, he has a lot of speed, and I think he's going to be there towards the end of this run. He started way back in the field. He's 31st, but now he's up to the 8th place spot, and he's trying to chase down Eddie Rose, who is the next driver in line here running in 7th. We're going to talk about him for just a moment here in that 46 car of Eddie Rose for Team Conti. Sim Performance.
Just look at all these cars. I mean, you see a lot of guys start slipping, sliding. I mean, that's the other big thing is, these tires are starting to wear. Track's getting hotter right now. I mean, I'm looking at the track temp. It's getting close. It's 111 degrees and a little bit of change. The air temp's about 82 degrees, but that's big. That's going to make the track slicker. There's going to be more sun on the racetrack. Right now in the sim, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon as it approaches 10 o'clock on the eastern seaboard. But the sun is just peering down on the racetrack right now. So that's going to make the track slicker as it goes along. It's going to get more rubber buildup into it. It's going to add just a little bit of grip with that. But with this, I mean, you see all the guys around the racetrack sliding around. Even Joseph Delaney, he's had a moment or two coming off of turn 4. But with so much wear and tear that goes on that right rear, if you're driving the car the way it is, you're going to see a lot of sliding like that. And guys might want it that way.
Whoa, hang on to it, Rose. You got a point. Yeah, he saved it. Not saved, though. At 46 car, we saw him in the first incident back at the beginning of the race. In that first caution, he made contact with the 29 Tanner Marty, and that caused a chain reaction that ended up taking out Dave Hoytsma, and also including the 30 car that we saw earlier. Both cars are now more than 15 laps down, but he's having a good day, still hanging on to the car. Great recovery for Rose. Now we're looking at the number 6 place car, Tyler Hunter. Again, amazing to see him doing this well. This is a defining week for him in terms of the season. Hasn't had a run like this all year. He's in a great spot in a track that doesn't necessarily have all that many cautions, so he's earning it. He's in the 6th place spot now. He's trying to catch up to our 5th place spot driver now, Cameron Stone. Look at this right here. He just got by Dyson here. And actually, Dyson, well, what just happened to Dyson? I think he's a lap down. He must have been, because more cars are coming down pit road now.
Correct.
So he had that damage on the right front. Yeah, and with these pit stops, we're going to have this top 10 shuffle out, but Stone rounds out from 5th to 10th. This will constantly be jumbling up through the night, and we'll talk about the top 10 again here in about 30 or 40 laps. We'll come back to that in a moment. But now we got Eddie Rose. He's back down on pit lane. A few other cars choosing to come in. But Paul Hill must feel absolutely amazing to see that he's in a position with no damage on the race car. His nearest competitor for this big money paycheck is a lap down, and he's behind him. He's just got to calm down, relax, and just drive to the end of the race. No mistakes. That's what that 26 at Hill's got to be thinking.
The prime example of that, he's obviously, he's going to know what the story is right now. You look at last week in the Real Life Cup Series in NASCAR. Ty Dillon, John Hunter Nemechek were fighting for each other. They were pretty close. They were pretty close the whole race, but it comes down. It got hectic after that rain delay was pulled, and Ty Dillon ends up getting the lucky dog. Well, now he was fighting John Hunter Nemechek for that lucky dog. Now he's a full lap ahead. So now all he has to do is just not wreck the race car or not have anything stupid happen, and he's going to advance and get this money. But right now, I mean, again, there's a lot of race to go. But I mean, you just look at that. I mean, he might think in the back of his head, like, I'm okay right where I'm at. I might be chill just sitting in the 4th position right now. I might be okay. I mean, obviously, if he could go win the race, he'd like to go win the race. But, I don't think he's going to try anything crazily aggressive, try to steal a win here if he knows that, like, well, if I finish 4th with a clean race car and everything goes kind of according to plan, I'm going to have a pretty good payday.
Exactly. I do got to let him know, though, you got to think about this. If you look at the front bumper of Dyson, he came down pit road. He sure did. But when he came out in front of the leader, that right front damage is slowing him down tremendously. This is a big moment for that 41 team. He's going to need some sort of some sort of caution to help him out. He needs to get that damage repaired, and he needs to do it quickly. He's in a position where it's going to be very difficult to come back from this damage, and he's in a lucky dog spot for now, but that won't be the case the entire run. So he's got to have to hope for something to help him to get him back into this race for this in-season tournament.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's, like I said, we still have 22 laps. That's an eternity. That's nearly a half hour from now that they still have to get through this stage, which it'll be at the stage of lap 100. So it's 50, 50, 60, the stages for this race. But that's a real big thing that I think a lot of these drivers are going to compartmentalize in their head. I mean, we're barely close. We're a couple laps away to halfway, and a lot's happened, but it kind of in and out. A lot's happened, but not a lot's happened. If you're some of these drivers, a lot of guys have had to dodge wrecks, and then there's a lot of guys have had to get damage fixed or avoid wrecks or even spin out and be a part of a wreck. But I think right now, I mean, they're starting to realize, I think after the end of this stage, once we get to about 40 to go, once we get in that final fuel window, you'll see business start to pick up a whole lot more.
Matthew Long just actually came down from 22nd position here in the 28 car. He was involved in that incident right at the start of the stage, and he still has a little bit of right front damage as well. So keeping that in mind, more cars choosing to head down. It's going to happen throughout this run, but you see that how spread out everybody has got. But one of my favorite phenomenons that happen in racing, doesn't matter where it is, it's going to happen in races like this where it's very long, strung out. If you see, oh, we got a caution on the racetrack. Oh, yeah, here we go. What just happened? We're going to take a look and see where it is. It's on. Oh, Brandon Hastings, the 81 car, sitting the wrong way in turn number 3, it looks like.
Yeah, he can't park there.
No, I don't believe he can. That is an accurate statement. Yes, let's take a look and see how he ended up finding a parking spot on the racetrack. You got Bobby Anderson on his tail, owner of the league, but the 81 just got loose on his own.
Oh, he ignored him too. Yeah, that's.
Oh, he put him in a wall.
Yeah,
81, slight mistake.
He got knocked out of. He didn't get hit, but he was real loose coming off of turn 1 over there, and Brandon. I'm sorry. Yeah, he got up into him, and he was just along for the ride though. Bobby Anderson right now, he was just trying to make a pass on the top side, which as the tires wear out, that's a viable lane to make something happen. But right now, you look through the middle of that quarter, Brandon Hastings, he was just all out of shape and had it saved, then he didn't have it saved, and now we're under the caution again.
Hate to see it, man. I mean, that 5 car has been having a really rough year this year in that 5 car. He has speed. He has great qualifying speed. He gets to the front, but it seems like something always happens that causes him some sort of damage to where he can't seem to get a good finish. But with this caution, it throws out strategy completely. And that's going to be a big deal because guess what that caution actually does? That actually, I believe, if we go and look at the replay here, I think that's going to make Dyson get the free pass to get back on the lead lap. Exactly what Andrew Dyson needed.
I'm looking here. It looks like Eddie Rose is actually scored ahead of him right now. Who's the first car lap?
Oh, dang it. Oh, I thought,
the other thing you might see here, since we're only 20 laps away from the stage, and I think Andrew Dyson might be close to making it. He pitted on lap 66. He might just take this wave around and putt around for the last 19 or 18 laps of this stage and then be back on the lead lap. So it's still going to be a good result for Andrew Dyson. You'd rather be the lucky dog that we come down a pit, but now he's going to be back on the lead lap when we get to 1 to go here. So he's going to be in good shape, and he'd have to be pretty far off the pace to get lapped at 18 laps here.
You know, once we're done with the pit stops, I think it would be nice to talk to Paul Hill. Since he's going for this in-season tournament, I think it'd be interesting to talk with him once he gets out of the pit stop. But we have Delaney who overshot his pit stop. And with that in mind, we'll see if he's able to hang on to the lead. Heitman's coming. You see him on the left side. He's going to get passed up by the top 3 at least. That's going to be DeCiani, Heitman, and Hill. And even Cameron Stone might even have gotten by.
Yeah, if you stay out as well. I mean, again, this splits not exactly in half, but this splits the stage in 2 fairly even pieces right now. Alex Coffey, Jeremy Miller are going to stay out and try the strategy game. As we'll have, I believe, 18 to go. We restart the stage, but Adam Benefield is going to take the waiver out. A lot of guys taking the waiver out. It looks like William Owens going to get a lap back. Chad Saner, Ralph Hutchison, who had those issues before. Joseph Galata is going to be back on the lead lap. And it looks like Derek Heitman is going to be the first car on 4 tires that came down a pit off of pit road here. So a lot of guys that we were talking about earlier that had some issues at the early part of that stage that went a lap down, they're going to be back on the lead lap now with just 18 laps to go.
And with that in mind, we got Paul Hill, who's right now leading the in-season tournament. We're going to bring him into the booth here. Paul Hill, this is Kirk Mills up in the booth. Hey, you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got a copy. What's going on?
Hey, man, you're in a great spot. You got yourself right now in terms of the in-season tournament. You're in the lead by a lot, and your closest competitor just took the wave around trying to get back on the lead lap with right front damage. It looks like it's going to take a while to get fixed. What do you think's going to be your strategy here to be able to hang on to it, win the money at the end of the day? You got any secret plans you want to share with the world?
Secret plans? Just going to trying to keep the car right side on the track and not hit any of these walls. It's really slick out here today, so just trying to be careful, manage the car, stay out of trouble, and hopefully I can collect the cash here at the end.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, it's been exciting to watch it. You guys were hard to separate up until that second caution there at the end of the right after the second stage ended there. So we're gonna wish you the best of luck, Paul. Go out there, go kick some tail. Is there anything else you want to say before we send you back to your team?
Yeah, shout out to CFM Esports for the awesome setup. It's doing really well even with these adverse conditions. So I want to give them a shout out. Wouldn't be possible without that.
Alrighty. And which chat were you in before so I can get you back to the right place?
1110 Esports.
You got it. I'll get you right back. Thank you so much, Paul. Thanks for coming in and talking with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know, we should have just dropped him into just some random chat. I would have liked to have seen that. You know, I don't know if we have that ability, but I think, you know, we could throw, you know, mix it around a little bit. Just, you know, create a little, few extra storylines and a little extra fun.
Oh, yeah, just cause inconvenience for the drivers. That's the right thing to do.
Oh, they'll drive it good. They'll figure it out.
Oh, man, I'm having a good time tonight. We're all having a good time.
I forget where it was. We actually dropped a guy back into the wrong team chat, and then they were, like, right in the middle of giving some big secret for the rest of the race, and they heard it, and that caused an issue. It wasn't my doing. It was whoever the producer was at the time, but that was a couple years ago. That was funny.
Can we look at the stints real quick before we come to the green? Let's take a look at these tires. We want to make sure that we get the stints up. That 86 car, Jeremy Miller, he's been out here for 24 laps. Coffee's been out here for 16. With that in mind, they're on old tires. Everybody else is on fresh tires, and they got to try and get by these two cars on old tires. We'll see if Jeremy's able to hang on or if Coffee can hang on. Pace car is going to dive back into the pit road, and we're coming down to get about 18 laps to go before the end of the stage. I'm excited. You're excited. In the restart zone, we're back underway here.
Jeremy Miller had a little wheel spin on that restart. Just see him get a little loosey-goosey there as he's going to clear and get clear by about 2/10 here in a one. Oh, they're a little loose. One in the grass. Oh, it's going to be big.
Oh, big crash that collects Delaney and Hoffman and also the 30 of Williams. You got the 5 car of Bobby Anderson sliding. You got Hutchinson involved. The 41 car misses it by inches. So the 41 car Dyson is going to hang on to the race car, but a lot of fast cars are involved in this one.
I just look at other guys in the back here. Clayton Hoffman was in it. Steven Williams, Ralph Hutchison, who just got back on the lead lap. He's involved in it as well. We'll take a look at the replay, see what happened again.
Here we go in turn one.
Yeah, it looked like, I can't tell who we're on board with, just got loose, and then he got put in the grass, and he's now just along for the ride here. I mean, that's, once you touch the grass, I mean, you may as well drive on ice, but.
Yeah, he hit Coffee, yeah, right? So the thing is, he was on old tires, and so he caught him a lot sooner into the turn one. But when that happened, he got sideways because he had to lift out of it, and the car got loose out from under him on the fresh tires. These things are slick when they're fresh. And let's look at the 26 on board, because this could have been the end of his day. But I want to ride on board with the 41 and the and of course Paul Hill in the 26. We got to ride on board with both, because both of them had near race ending moments happen in this run. Let's first look at the 41 if we can on board. This is on the restart. Remember, the wreck happens way out in front, but look at how the 41's able to navigate and avoid the accident. Going into turn one.
We're on board with him here. Again, this track is so thin when you're trying to dodge a wreck here. He sees the wreck. That's about 15 rows of cars in front of him, but it's still an issue back here. But
it's not over. Right here. This is the most dangerous part. He's going to get so close to this car on the left. Watch this right here. Yo! He missed him.
Holy cow. I guarantee what he thought was going to happen is he kept rolling, but, I mean, whoever that was, he dodged. He did the smart thing. He just held the brake and just tried to made himself predictable, but that could have been a whole lot worse. But maybe Paul Hill squeaked through it clean.
Yeah, let's look at Paul Hill's. He had a little bit of damage because he was right behind Heitman when he started spinning.
Looks like he's going to stay out here under this caution, by the way. I think it's not enough damage to affect him, or he might not even know that. Oh, my screen doesn't have any, but look right here.
A little bit of left front.
Yeah, a little bit. Right, I'm looking at him. It looks pretty clean on my end. I don't know if it.
He's lucky.
Yeah, he was real lucky. That could have been a whole lot worse. But you know who's another big winner of this is Joseph Galata, who's going to be back on the lead lap. He actually was 2 laps down on that previous yellow, so he went from 2 laps down to 1 lap down. Now he's the lucky dog, and he could get fresh tires, and he's in a pretty good spot in this stage now suddenly.
And not just him. I mean, it's exciting to see this happen because it's also going to give time for the 41 to repair his right front damage. It's going to give time because Delaney actually got a little bit of damage in that incident as well, so he's going to have to get his damage repaired. This really shakes up the front of this field. Jeremy Miller and Alex Coffey still going to hang on to the top 2 spots. I mean, it's not Alex Coffey's fault. I mean, he's out there on old tires, yeah, but he's a little slower than Heitman, and Heitman just, whenever he went into the corner, he's on fresh tires when they got stickers on there. It's just a little looser. Cold tires is a lot looser than warm, and whenever that happened, he just didn't have the grip when he lifted to avoid hitting the back bumper of Coffey. So with that in mind, it's not necessarily like anybody's fault necessarily. It's just a racing incident that occurs on a restart when you got old tires and fresh tires, nose to tail like that going into a corner. So he's going to have a long way to come back to try and recover from that. But the biggest hitters, will let you know who they are here in just a moment.
Yeah, again, that's not really anybody's fault. That's just a mix of strategies right there. I understand Jeremy Miller and Alex Coffey staying out right there. I mean, their bed's pretty well set for the stage. So I mean, there's really I don't have an issue with that. I mean, as you take a look at the point standings right now, after Dover, these are not live point standings, by the way. These are as they ran after last week, but a lot of the guys that are around that cut line that are having a lot of things to say right now. You know, you had Andrew Dyson, who was a 1 lap down. I think he's back on the lead lap now with a little damage, but Jonathan Delaney, he's not able to get another win to try to match him, but a lot of guys around that cut line and that have already racked up a win, their race has been affected right now.
Yeah, I will let you know right now, Clayton Hoffman in the 92 car, I mean, yeah, there's 277 points of the good, but he had the worst of that accident there. I think he might have a position where he might need to get a lot of damage repair to even get back out there and be competitive. He had a fast car all day today, but I mean, with that in mind, we're back under 1 lap to go before the green. We got double file happening already. And we have seen these restarts. They are just wild. Out of like the 3 or 4 restarts that we've had accidents in 3 of them. I mean, it's a lot of difficulty getting back underway. And I'm excited to see if these guys are able to control themselves, realize that, hey, we got a long way to go. We got cold tires. You got to be able to find a balance there that's not going to flip you off or anything like that. You don't want it to hurt you in any way.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, that's, again, I keep mentioning it. It's the same way when you have long races like this that are, you know, they're full-length Cup Series races, essentially. If you could stay out of trouble, keep the nose clean, you know, you could, again, you want to get to the finish. To finish first, you must first finish. A wise man once said, but you can't do that if you got a wrecked race car.
But I got to tell you, they're doing everything they can for the track position.
Oh,
Jeremy
correct.
Miller, Alex Coffey, they're doing exactly the right thing they need to do in their positions because they might not have the speed to win the race, but they have the track position, and that is a huge plus. But now DeCiani and Cameron Stone, these guys are going to do whatever it takes to get on by these guys to get that fresh air. And also Carl Dodson, shout out to him. He's running on the outside 6th place spot. Great night for Carl Dodson here if he's able to hang on to his position. Out of 4, we're going to go ahead and get our race back underway on lap 87 when they cross the stripe. You see them heading down. Everybody ready to get things going. That green flag's going to drop, and watch the wheel spin. Here we go. 86, decent jump. 54, just fine, but DeCiani's going to end up being side by side with Coffey this time, heading into 1.
Good restart by Jeremy Miller there. Going to be side by side, DeCiani and Coffey. They make a little contact there off of turn 1. As he's a lot cleaner through turn 1 this time than the last restart.
DeCiani got right on by Coffey, but Paul Hill's having a hard time doing so as they are 3 wide in the back of the field. And guess who it is? It's Dyson Marty right there with Chris Davis on the outside trying to make that work. They are going to be 3 wide. Look out, Delaney had to dive it in deep. He ended up overdriving the corner just ever so slightly as the battle for the lead is going to start heating up right now as they head out of turn number 4.
Yeah, I think Matt's going to be able to get a good run on him. It's just the big difference in tires here. They go down the front. Well, maybe not. See, Miller
he's there.
Use the air to his advantage, but I thought he was going to get a better run off the 4 than he did, so I think Jeremy Miller's going to hold on the lead for a little bit longer.
They're going to be 3 wide again heading into turn number 1 on the bottom. Here comes Dyson. They're going to be 3 wide with the 74 and the 29. 3 wide in turn number 1. Out wide goes the 74. Contact with the wall. Hard contact. He's going to lose a little bit of ground there, but what a run there. They're trying to hang on to the race car.
Oh, we mentioned it earlier. This track, everyone's just slipping and sliding right now. And when you're on old tires, you know, the big thing with this, the way that the tires get, the hotter they get, the more that they wear. But cold worn tires are not usually a good combo because they take a lot longer to warm up. Plus, also, you're lacking grip as well. So, I mean, the other thing is, you know, we're 2 or 3 laps past this restart right now, and Miller's still running second. So, I mean, so far, the strategy call has been fairly good for him. Alex Coffey's still sitting in 4th position. But, you know, if they're able to, you know, I want to say limp around, but if they're able to tread water and get to the end of this stage, they're going to be back on even tires with everybody with good track position. Hey, we've had some heavy hitters in this race knocked around and not necessarily knocked out of the race just yet, but a lot of guys that were, you know, we thought would be favorites to win right now. Jonathan Delaney's had his issues right now. You know, you got the 99 of Joseph Galata, who led a lot of laps. I mean, like, this race has been pretty close to turned upside down, so we got to battle for second.
But just like that, you saw Paul Hill. He's trying to get up to the second place spot. He's going to make it work as they're still battling for position in the back. Carl Dodson losing 3 spots in one corner just there. Hoytsma got by, Kumachevsky got by, and Dustin Hall, all of them getting on by. Dustin Hall having a harder time out of the group. But up in the front, taking a look at this, I am still so surprised at Tyler Hunter. He's all over the back bumper, Cameron Stone, and they're both trying to get on by Alex Coffey here with older tires. But I got to give these guys props. That 54, that 26, they are hanging on to their race cars and doing it in a smart way with old tires. I mean, great job to those guys. They're going to be trying to, you know, get to the end of the stage. I think they might. And as long as they hold their line on the bottom and they don't wash up the track, I mean, they might get a pretty good stage point day right here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, do you think it's an interesting mindset when you have stage racing like that? You have to think little picture, you have to think big picture. So if you're like, I'll use Jeremy Miller and Alex Coffey as example. If, you know, they're trying to get some points here, see if they can get something out of the stage, but you don't want to sacrifice, I think, a good finish of the stage for a good finish overall in the race. And I think right now, they'll take a 3rd or a 4th or even a top 5 to the bank here.
You know, but you got to remember Alex Coffey though, that he doesn't have that many starts. So honestly, he doesn't need he needs wins. He needs wins to be able to make this. But that's all he's here for. I mean, obviously running up front's a good thing, but you also want to try to get as many wins as you can. I think things have really settled down though since the restart. Which is great. We got that single file stuff back, but now we just got to get to the end of this thing. Let's go ahead and talk about a major storyline. Guess who just cracked the top 15?
Tell me.
Andrew Dyson. He's back.
Yep,
back front damage is gone. He made a 3-wide move on that restart to get on by, and that's what we were talking about earlier with the 74 car. Now he's trying to get back to the top 10. He's sitting in 13th right now, but he's going to make a move now for the 12th place spot to the inside of Dylan Kritz in the 64 car. He might make it 3-wide again. He's all over the back bumper. He's going to be there. Oh, yeah.
He's going to at least get one. So
that's for sure.
The big thing is where this 62 of Neil Pearson's going to go. If he goes to the bottom, he's going to give a pull to the bottom, and I think Dyson's just going to get the spot easily for Dylan Kritz in that Brewers machine. Not quite clear of him yet. He might get clear after turn 2 again. There's a 5-lap difference in tires, which that's a big difference right now. He's going to go down the backstretch. He's going to go in 12th position right now.
Well, with that in mind, remember right now, this is now one of those trains where the front car is typically holding up the rest, and it looks like right now Neil Pearson is leading that particular line as they are trying to, you know, get everything they can behind him. Dyson moves up to the 12th place spot. He's going to try and get 11th away from Neil, but they are side by side with Jacob Simpson trying to make a move to the bottom of Gallimore. Paul Gallimore not really going to work, and because of that, Gulata, he's back in the picture. He just made a move on Simpson.
Like I said, just comers and goers. We know the kind of car that Joseph Galata's got. Assuming he doesn't have any unfixable damage, that car's not going to change. It's still going to be a good race car. Jonathan Delaney, kind of the same boat. He might have just a smidge of damage left to fix, but I think he's trying to get to the end of the stage, and, you know, end of the stage coming up 7 laps, by the way. But if they're able to get there, get new tires, it's like a brand new race. It's essentially turned into an A fixed when you get to that 60 to go, because it's not necessarily just a sprint race, but you know, you still have enough time to make something happen, but it's not as much time as you'd think.
We have, looks like one of our top guys, Coffey here. He was running in 4th just a handful of laps ago. He just got passed by Cameron Stone and Tyler Hunter, moving those two into the top 5. That 54 car dropping like a rock. That old tires are starting to scream. But, yeah, I mean, Jeremy Miller's doing a better job of hanging on to the race car right now, it looks like.
I mean, here's the other thing. You talk about, I believe you said Jeremy Miller hadn't have the base starts. He's just trying to rack up wins, or not Jeremy Miller.
Oh, no, it was Coffey.
Alex Coffey. I apologize. Yeah, I had them backwards. But, I mean, you look at it this way. He's going to be, if this position holds, I don't think he'll be lower than 10th when we restart. But, he's at a higher position than he probably would have been if he had just been on the same cycle. So, I mean, if all you do is follow the leader, you're just going to follow the leader. So, I mean, let's say he finishes 6th at the other stage. He's going to be on the same tire cycle as everyone else, and he's going to have a better shot to win because of this gamble that he took now.
I'm excited to see how this goes. We're coming down to get about 6 laps to go into stage here when they cross the stripe. Oh, heavy contact for Cameron Stone. He hit the wall pretty dang good right there. Luckily for him, these cars are tanks, and they can hit anything and still somehow move at a high pace of speed comparative to a non-damaged car. But man, take a look at this gap right here we have. From first to second, it's closing. Paul Hill, he's been running consistently a 10th faster than Matt DeCiani every lap. That 26 car really wants to get this stage win because he needs every playoff point he can get. It's all about playoff points for him. He's already had his win to lock him into the playoffs. He needs every point he can get, and if he wins this stage, he gets that playoff point. But DeCiani, he's not locked in. He needs the full-on win to be able to make it into the next round, so to be able to get to the playoffs. So he's in a great position on points. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be like an absolute difficulty to, guarantee to make the playoffs here for DeCiani, but it's definitely going to be a benefit to him to try and lead in as many laps as he can and win as many stages as he can. But that 26 is chasing him down. This last time by, DeCiani actually beat him by half a tenth right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking pretty good right now. Let me ask you a question. You're a driver, too. I'm going to flip the script here. You're going to be the color analyst for a
Yeah,
lap.
I'll drive, yeah.
So, Matt DeCiani's running in first. He needs a win. You look at Paul Hill right now, provided if everything looks like this at the end of the final stage, you get to 4 or 5 laps to go. If you're Paul Hill and you have a couple wins in the bank, you're locked into the playoffs pretty soundly, probably going to be top 6 in points maybe by the end of it. Are you trying, as we had a moment back there around 7th place, but if you're Paul Hill, are you content with finishing second and just taking home that paycheck and not wrecking your race car, or are you actually trying to get the win here and push hard and just throw the money out the window?
I'd answer that question the way I answer every question. I want to win. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to try to win every race I'm in. I don't do it, but I get close sometimes. It's pretty good. I mean, 4,600 iRating ain't the best in the world, but these guys are definitely some guys that I love competing against. They got a lot of speed. And, for Paul Hill, he's going to want to take the win, but sure. I mean, he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure he wins the money at the end of the day and also have a good playoff run because he wants that championship like anybody else. And this has been the most competitive season that we've seen in the Full Length Cup Challenge in a long time. We have so many drivers that can win any given week that it's almost guaranteed.
Paul Hill coming down pit road.
Oh, yep, it's a good choice. It's a good thing he's doing right now. He's trying to flip the stage so that way whenever he's going for the win of the race, not for the stage win. So with that in mind, he's going to try his best to get some points there. But it looks like that there's some chatter on the radio from the 6 car.
Yeah, Tanner Marty got a little loose. Oh, wow. Could tell who that was. He came down pit road. There was almost a moment. Oh, wow. He was trying to avoid pit road entrance. He swerved right in front.
Oh, my gosh,
the lady here. That'd be worthy of a replay probably when we're under caution. Or we can have it right now. But Jonathan Delaney, he might need a new pair of underwear.
Go up to Marty
in a minute.
Yeah, we want to see Marty on this. Marty's going to be
Marty, he got knocked out of shape off of turn 4. Might have got a little arrow loose.
Benefield.
Yeah, he never really touched him. He just got loose, and he did not want to pit. He knew that'd be a penalty, so he avoids the commitment cone. He goes back up, that takes out Jonathan Delaney.
He got
lucky.
It
through, though.
Yeah, they sure did. But now, I mean, the car's okay. That's good. And he missed the commitment code by inches, by the way. Inches, just mere inches. And so he's going to have to come back from that. But look at this battle right here. Jeremy Miller and Cameron Stone battling for the 2nd place spot there side by side in turn 2. And look at that. Tyler Hunter. Great speed out of that 48 car. He's trying to get on by as well. This is your entirety of second through fourth right now. Side by side for second. The leader's checked out 4 seconds away. That's DeCiani. He can just relax for the next 2 laps. But this is the battle for second, and they're trying to get those stage points, and every stage point matters. Jeremy runs him up the track. The 57, they make contact. Oh, hard into the wall. The 86 collects Dylan Kritz, and also Lucas Hoytsema involved in that one. Hard, heavy contact for the 86, and he has taken his car to the pits. Oh, man, you hate to see it. He's trying to hang on to second, but he just couldn't do it. He is not happy with Cameron Stone.
No, I mean, understandably so. I mean, that he didn't cut him just a whole lot of slack, but that's a hard impact into the wall. That knocked out that Brewers machine of Dylan Kritz, but holy cow. Yeah, Kritz might have a little issue with that right front, but it's hard to tell where we're at. But yeah, that probably could have been avoided.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. He was on the bottom of the racetrack. He has old tires. He's trying to hang on to second place every point that he can get. I mean, he's actually not in the best positions in terms of point standings right now. But we had a problem on the backstretch. What just happened here, Dylan Kritz? Is this the same wreck that we just saw?
Yeah, he was involved with that wreck.
Well, yeah, but it's just weird, man. Let's take a look at it one more time here. So Tyler Hunter, does he avoid it? I think he does. But,
that's what that was, but
hate to see it, man.
That right front might be cooked. Again, I can't get a real good look at it, but I mean, it's still rolling, so I don't know if he's got a bent toe link, but I mean, that's a lot. That's heavy contact with that right front of that Brewer Crew machine. By the way, it's a bad day to be a Brewer. The Brewers just lost Marlins 7-4, by the way, those of you interested in Brewers.
Oh, now pit stops. These guys are going to try and this is the stage, so everybody's going to come down. That means DeCiani will get the stage win. Cameron Stone, Tyler Hunter, top 3. Lucas Hoytsma, Alex Coffey, Kuhn Macheski, Neil Pearson, Dustin Hall, Andrew Dyson, and Joseph Gulata are the top 10 drivers that will get stage points. And guess who just stayed out to take the lead? Jonathan Delaney. So with that in mind, it's his only way to get back to the lead. He has to flip it in some way, shape, or form. But now they got to go 60 laps, which is still going to be just one pit stop. So it's not necessarily going to be a crazy strategy, but you got to go a little longer. You got to have a fast car to be able to flip it, like pit early and make it work for you. Not to mention, we have been getting crazy races and not a great stop by DeCiani. DeCiani lost a bunch of spots on pit road.
Yeah, that wasn't a good pit stop by him. Sounds like we're going to take a quick little break, it sounds like. We'll have more action. You want to set us to break right now?
Yep, that's right. We're going to head over to the break. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be right back here shortly for Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here for the full-length Cup Challenge here from Indianapolis. My name's Kirk Mills. Alongside me this afternoon is Dylan Connolly, joining me up here in the booth with DJ, our producer here. We're going to be starting our third stage here this afternoon. Getting back underway, Delaney has retaken the lead after some strategy, staying out. And we have more cars. DeCiani lost a lot of spots in pit lane after contact with Cameron Stone. And now we're going to get back underway here. They are heading through the restart zone now, and we are back underway here from Indianapolis.
And launched by Delaney again. He's going to be at a 16-lap tire deficit to the cars behind him from third on back. Paul Hill, he pitted at the end of that stage, flipped the stage. He got good track position, but he essentially went from second to second. Oh. I don't think he was expecting Delaney. As we got one spin into the back, it's going to spin across the field. That's a yellow.
Well, going right back to yellow, it is Carl Dodson losing it. Nobody collected in that incident, just a single car spin. It looks like he just got loose, but great job, everyone, for avoiding the 9 car. That was a difficult spin to avoid.
Well, every stage has kind of gone to the same script. There's been an early wreck, but let's see if they all follow the same script. Is going to head down to one, I think it's just cold tires. He got back at the gas probably a little too quick. I think he was just trying to lock it down. I don't think he meant to turn back across the field. He didn't turn across the field, but turn back on the racetrack. But very safe and sorry. Throw the yellow. That could have been a lot worse. But Carl Dott, he'll live to race another lap. So that was an issue behind him. Who was that got out of shape there? Lost 7 or 8 spots. That could have been worse. But
Tanner Marty, yeah. Tanner, he had the restart. It looked fine. But he backed off really far, and when he did, I think he missed a shift or something, and he had to get way out of the way. Everybody passed him. Something must have happened to Tanner where he had to back off like a whole bunch to be able to hang on to the race car. But it worked out for him because he would have been right on the tail end of that 9 car who was spinning, so he probably would have gotten some damage if it wasn't for that. So good thing he got out of the way to be able to hang on to the race car. But now that we have this caution, I think it'll be a quick one. I don't anticipate very many people heading down pit road. We could definitely bring someone into the booth here. I was thinking about talking with Tyler Hunter. I mean, he's having the day of his life right here. I'd love to talk with him. Let's see if we can't bring him up if we can find him. He should be in the Lunar. That's Tanner. I don't see him. Let's see. There we go. He's in 1110 Esports. We're going to bring him up here in just one moment. Infield Care Center, and then we'll bring him up here. All right, hang on just 1 second. Tyler Hunter, this is Kirk Mills up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, what a day. You're running top 5 speed up here, man. This is the race of the year for you. I'm so happy for you, man. Tell me, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Got a little nervous because of a couple of wrecks in front of me, but seems like we're holding on pretty good right now.
All right, man. What's your strategy? You have a chance of the win here if you can get in the right position. I mean, is there anything you can do to try and get by these guys? You have anything planned? Any strategy you want to share with the world?
Seems like I struggle a little bit on the restarts. I've always been that way, unfortunately, but I think it's going to come down to pitch strategy here, I think, as long as it stays green. Hopefully it falls in our favor.
All right, Tyler. Now, you got anything you want to say before we send you back over to your team on 1110 Esports?
No, sir. I think I'm good.
All right, man. Hey, good job. Keep doing up a good job and being up in the top 5. It's cool seeing you up there. I'd like to see you up there more often, all right?
Heck yeah. Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. That was Tyler Hunter. He's in a good mood today. I know it. I mean, I hang out with him on the occasion. He is a happy camper. This is a rare occasion to see him having this good of a day.
Yeah, he's been, I think he's kind of been on a little bit of a rail. He's had a very powerful car, but he's also been the beneficiary of, and want to knock on wood right here, he hadn't had anything happen to him yet. He hadn't had a mess up pit road. He's been on cycle. He hadn't been involved in a wreck. He hadn't really had any issues with his car. And, like I mentioned earlier, that's a good formula. You stay out of trouble. You don't hit anything. You keep it between the lines, and you kind of stay on cycle. You have a little bit of pace. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, I'm just happy for him. He's having a good time, that's for sure. But another car that's actually having a great day, Thomas Kulmacheski, top 5. That's awesome. Cameron Stone's having a great day. Andrew Dyson, he's cracked the top 10 now, and he's got to catch Paul Hill if he wants the money. He knows he can. He's got the speed. Now he's just got to be able to get through this restart and get up to that 26 car and actually do something about it. It's going to be a really difficult ask, but I think he can do it. And as we're going to be coming down the front straightaway here, we're going to be getting the 1 to go signal when they cross the stripe. Tell me, who you looking at going on this restart? Who's your guy? Who you think's going to do the job and get the job done on the restart?
Well, I mean, whoever the leader is, that'd be Jonathan Delaney, is going to have a good launch. But as the restart goes longer, I think your guy's on newer tires. So, I mean, I think right now, I think Paul Hill's in a good spot. If he's able to maintain that outside through 1 and 2 somehow and stay at that right rear, he could get that run off of 2 and have some help behind him and set sail. But right now, I mean, it's got to go to whoever your leader is, because he's going to get a great launch no matter what, because he can control this restart. I haven't, even when they get a bad start or they get wheel spin, they've still been able to get out to at least a 2 or 3 tenths of a second lead.
So, all right. So you're picking the leader, is what you're saying.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, like right now, I mean, of course, you know, if we get more green flag racing, I mean, if it stays yellow the rest of the race to keep having wrecks, I'll pick Jonathan Delaney. But, you know, the way things are cycled right now, if I had to make a pick about who's going to win this race, I'd say Paul Hill.
Paul Hill, he's your guy. Okay, Paul Hill.
He's racing for some money too, but you know, I mentioned earlier, is he going to try to get another win in the bank, or is he going to try to get some money in the bank? I mean, if you could get both, that'd be a perfect world.
It's the only way you can get both is by winning. So that's good, man. That's cool. Well, the announcer, there's no such thing. It's French. I don't know what you're talking about. What I will say is I'm excited to see this restart. Another driver that's actually just cracked top 15, Paul Gallimore. Look at that. 74 car also. He was involved in an accident. He just cracked top 15. The 5 car, Bobby Anderson, he was in an accident. Just cracked top 15. Derek Heitman was in an accident. Just cracked top 15. So these guys, they're going to have a good shot. A little bit of damage on the front end of that 57 from the contact he had with DeCiani on the last pit stop cycle, which is what brought DeCiani back to 11th place. So we'll see if DeCiani can make a recovery from that contact as they head onto the front straightaway. That pace car is going to go ahead and dive back down on the pit lane. And now we're going to get the restart with 54 laps to go here from Indianapolis. Here we go into the restart zone, and we are back on our way. Delaney has been having best restarts all day from the lead.
Yeah, he's been pretty hard to beat when you get to the lead now. Now he can set sail. Now he's got a pretty good car underneath him. But again, will the tire discrepancy play into factor here? We'll see here pretty quickly.
I'm outside for second. Paul Hill on the outside of the 97 of Hoytsma, doing a great job hanging on to that 97. Great recovery. He's been moving up all race long as Komachevsky's getting a battle now with Coffee to his inside. Hunter's trying to help him out, but heading into the corner, Hunter's going to cut the front bumper off of Coffee. He'll hang on to the position, but up front, Hoytsma's going to clear Hill, and now that is going to be your top 5 right there. It's going to be Delaney, Hoytsma, Hill, Hunter, Coffee. That is your top 5 right now as the battle now rages on between DeCiani and Stone. They had a contact on pit road. Stone's dropping like a stone, dropping on back, getting passed by Gallimore and DeCiani.
I'm really shocked that Cameron Stone didn't come down pit road, get that damage fixed. I don't know if he has any crew with him or anything, but I mean, that front end nose damage is very significant. And I mean, he might also run into some overheating issues as we go on into the race, but I mean, he's going to continue. He'll probably be the slowest car on the racetrack with that level of nose damage that he has there. But right now up front, we're single file. Delaney's almost out to a second lead, but I mean, that's big for Cameron Stone. I'm really shocked he didn't get that damage fixed under the yellow.
We had a moment just happen right here. We got the 48 car trying to make a move on the 54 here. Sorry to interrupt you there, but
it's all good.
While this racing has happened, something happened to Jacob Simpson in the back of the field when he was battling with Adam Benefiel. Adam and them just had a little bit of contact a lap ago. But the racing up here is way too important right now. We're going to take a look at the front and stay up front. That 41 car is on the charge. He's trying to get by Tyler Hunter to the inside. He's going to be 3 wide once they head into turn number 1. How's it going to work? Still 3 wide. Tyler Hunter in the middle. Dyson on the bottom. Dyson's going to make the pass. And Tyler Hunter has been dropping since the restart. He made contact with Dyson. What a hit. He's not happy about what he just did, but we got a caution on the racetrack. That will bring out another caution. It is Carl Dodson again. Also involved is the 30 car involved of Williams. And not just him. I think it was a larger crash as well.
Now, we look at this replay. You're going to see Bobby Anderson. He's going to be up in the wall. And that's really kind of what started it. Bobby just ran out of real estate, smacked the wall, came down, and just nowhere to go for the Dodson machine. And then all heck broke loose after that. Collected Adam Benefiel, too.
Benefield, yeah, he didn't get he got a lot of right front side damage from Benefield, but the 5 car has a lot of damage as well, and with that in mind, that's definitely going to bring out the caution, and during this caution period, I'd love to go back and actually see what happened to the 2 car. He made some contact with Benefield that's worth taking a look at, but let's look at this wreck one more time. See it right here, Dodson got out of the gas trying to give room for the 5 car, but the 5 just couldn't hang on to it. And so that's a 3-car incident that I see right there. You hate to see it, though. Williams also involved in that one, the 30 car. But I think he had damage already, so he wasn't necessarily involved.
Yeah, he had a little damage. Bobby Anderson's car is destroyed. I think his night is done. You hate to see it. He was running around the top 15 pretty much the whole night. He had a pretty solid race going on, but I believe he's going to be done for the night. Carl Dodson got a little right front damage, but he'll be able to get that patched up and be okay. But that's just you hate to see that for Bobby Anderson, who's also in charge of this league. He's yeah, that was a solid night Bobby got going on. You hate to see him knocked out of the race like that.
All right, so we're going to try and find the lap where this happened. It was a lap prior, I believe. He was racing with the 83, so keep on going back if we can a little further. Here's a restart, so it's going to be a lap past this, I think. It's going to be going into turn 3, I believe, or exiting turn 4. I'm going to double check to make sure we got the exact lap for you. But that 2 car, let's take a look at this while we're under caution. Nobody's going to come down pit road, and if they do, they'll be in the back half of the field, so that's what it is. 2 cars on the bottom trying to get by the 83 on the restart. And this is a little beef, I think, because I think these guys are a little angry at each other, 2 in the 83 while we're talking about it. There are 3 wide right in front. This is chaos. Remember, when you're in back of the field on these restarts, you are going to have chaos. It's just going to happen that way. And what ended up happening here that was so rough for the 2 car was that he gets some contact with the 83. He has a run right here. He's going to try and make a move, I think, right here. So he goes down to the bottom, trying to make a move, and the 83 cuts him off, hits him, sends him through the grass. He saves the race. Great save. That's what I was trying to mention. Dylan's a great save by Jacob Simpson, doing the exact right thing. And but that 83 just, turned down a little sooner, making sure he was not going to get by. That's something I like. I find interesting about the 83. He's able to make a move that will stop any move, no matter how much momentum you have. But now with that out of the way, 83 has a little bit of damage from that wreck. A few more cars involved in that. Let's take a look here and see who's out here, who's still in contention, who has the damage, who doesn't. It's been hot this entire race, 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Not crazy hot, but enough to where it's still slick. Man, who's the biggest surprise to you so far in the race?
I mean, the surprises have been just how up and down a lot of guys' races have been. I mean, Jonathan Delaney looked dead to rights. I mean, Joseph Galata looked dead to rights, and they're right back in it. But, I mean, there's really not anybody that's just been like, whoa, Neil Pearson, I guess. He was at 35th. He's running in 10th right now. But a lot of guys just, you've been able to see them go back and forth throughout the field and end up where they're at now with about 50 to go.
I mean, now that this has happened, now we're going to get back on again. I mean, I swear Larry McDonald's had an EOL penalty this whole race. I don't know if you've noticed that, but that thing comes up every 5 seconds. But, I think it has something to do with pit roads. I'm not sure exactly why. He might be asking for it. He might not. I don't know. One thing I do got to mention in terms of the cars that are really surprising me today, 2 cars come to mind out of the top 10 that are actually like big surprises. First off, great opening debut for Alex Coffey, showing that he's up here in the top 5. He's got speed. He can be and compete up in the front of this pack as we're now doubling up for the restart. Amazing job to get to where he is. He's up 14 spots from where he started. The next guy that surprises me in this front group, to be honest with you, is Galata. He started up front. He had a lot of speed, got involved in a loose incident where he had to go down pit road, serve a penalty, but he's now back in the top 6. He has a chance to win this race. And then the third guy that I'm thinking about, the third and fourth guy, I should say, they're right next to each other. Paul Gallimore and Chris Davis. These guys having great races today. Paul Gallimore, I think this is like maybe his first or second start. But Chris Davis has been running with us for quite a while, and he's just outside of top 10. I think he has a chance to get there today as long as he can hang on to the race car in the 74. I mean, great running for all of them today up here in the front group, and those are the drivers that really have surprised me. But we have another note here from our lovely producer, DJ Lyon, saying that he's impressed by Kumachevsky. We know Kumachevsky to be the guy that's really quick off the start, but then tires he has a hard time on the long run. He drives the car real hard, but today he's able to hang on to it, stay up front a lot longer.
I think DJ's spot on. Kolbachevsky's had a good race. See, I said it right that time. He's running in 5th place right now. Again,
yeah,
a lot of beneficiaries of just staying out of trouble, not being involved in any wrecks, don't have any issues up pit road, and they've done a good job so far.
All right, now it's all about getting to the end. We're at 50 laps to go. We're going to get the green with 48 laps to go. Side by side for this lead. That 26 has got to find out something to try and beat that 6 car on a restart. That 6 car has just been unbeatable on these restarts. He's got to try something. Maybe get an early jump, do whatever it takes, because you got to try and get them. But you also don't want to lose the in-season tournament, so don't get ahead of them. But we'll see how the restart goes here as the pace car dives into the pit lane. Side by side, ready to get back going. 23 cars. Green flag is back out on the track, and that 6 car jumps out ahead like he's had all day.
Another great job for Delaney right there.
Side by side battle for second. There he is on the bottom. That 97 trying to wash up, and the 26 is still side by side with them. They're not side drafting, knowing that they kind of have to not slow each other down so the leader just doesn't get away, even though the leader's really just pulled out ahead by a lot. Contact between the 88 of Kumachevsky and the 54. Ooh. That's going to send them 3 wide. Dyson to the bottom, 3 wide. Oh, it worked out. They did a great job.
Okay,
nice
they
job.
got out of it.
Yeah, that 41 car doing exactly the right thing. He's fast. He wants to try and win this stage as they are making 3 wide moves in the back. The 76 of Heitman making a move. Coffee trying to get down to the bottom of Dyson. He's holding them all the way down to the bottom of the wall. They head up the hill. Still battle for second place going on. Battles all throughout the entirety of the top 10. The leader is scooted out by a long shot. But these guys are just racing really hard, trying to get all they can get on this restart.
Yeah, I mean, Delaney sets there right now. He's loving all this action in his mirror because he can just pull away now. Even with the tire advantage or disadvantage, I think he's going to be okay. We've ran so many laps now. I think the discrepancy is almost evened out since we've ran some laps under green and they've heat cycled so many times. So I think Delaney's in a real good spot here.
Battle now looks like that 4-car DeCiani trying to make a move in the back of the field there on the bottom of Coffee. Coffee gets into the wall, contact with the 4. DeCiani goes sideways. He collects the 76. Huge crash on the front stretch. 5, 6 cars all block the track. They're all blocking the track. No one can get through. And it's a pile up right here on the bricks.
You run into issues with that. If you have a wreck on the front stretch like that, there's no room. The track, you have that wide open space that then once the pit road comes out, there is no room for activities.
Wow, it's been a while since I've seen a track blocker like that. Let's take a look. So contact with Coffee sent the 4-car down into more contact. Other cars, Ralph Hutchinson involved, the 2 of Dylan's, we got Dylan Kritz involved, we got Jacob Simpson involved. Few other cars. Oh, wow. The 8 car just did not want to wait. We got a DQ for Gallimore in the 66 car. Oh, you hate to see it. He was having a great day. Take a look right here. That 54 is who we want to watch. He's going to get into the wall. This is his first race with us. First or second race, I think that 54's had with us. He's going to hit the wall hard here. 4 car. I'll be honest. That Coffee didn't do anything wrong. I think the 4 car just came up and hit him. He overreacted to it, absolutely. So, wow, a lot of cars involved in that. But look at the 8 car here. He stopped, and he's going to hit the gas to get back going here in a second, and he collects the 81 again. So, hold the brakes until everybody's gone, then you get the gas. But he's trying to get every spot he can. You kind of can't necessarily blame him too much. Yeah, let's ride on board with Hastings.
Ride along, again, you're just, unless you come to a dead stop, you're along for the ride and
he's holding the brakes so
through.
hard.
Yeah, he's hard on the brakes. Even then, he a little left front damage. He'll be able to get that fixed though. Nothing crazy.
But then this happens.
Yeah, I saw the end of that. That was I don't think that was anything intentional, but that's just close quarters right there.
Oh, let's get a camera right now live on Derek Heitman. Camera on Derek Heitman right now, as quick as you can.
Crab walking.
Let's get a view on that 76 Derek Heitman.
Drifting.
Oh yeah, we gotta see this.
Look like those old Cup cars. That look like
oh man, I think the skew's in the wrong way, man. I don't think that's gonna help the car.
That look like dang COT days right there. That's pretty good. Hey, he's driving pretty good.
Take a screenshot. That right there is a pretty picture.
But hey, here's the big thing is all the toe links are still straight, so he might not be completely out of this. He'll have a couple minutes of damage, but you can fix 1 to 2 minutes per caution here, and I don't think we're done wrecking here, honestly. But I mean, Kirk Mills, we still got a lot of race left in us, probably a lot of wrecking left in us. But I mean, right now he'll be able to get a decent amount of damage done, fixed, and as crazy as it looks, when you're knocked out of shape like this, it's going to be 8 to 10 minutes, I'd say, but all the wheels are still attached to the race car just fine. So he's not out of the woods yet. It's funny to see right now, but I mean, it's not crazy to say that his race is far from over.
He just go have a bathroom break, you can come back and the damage will be fixed. I think so. I don't know. But yeah, man, I always say that is the funniest way a race car can look is whenever you get the skew knocked out of it like that. But you can take a look at the wreck again here. We're on board with the 76. He gets hit hard by by the 2-car Simpson, Jacob Simpson. I don't know why I keep calling him Dylan. I don't know. Keep getting him and Dylan Critz mixed up, but a lot of cars involved. And you hate to see it too. Great days by all these guys, just having a rough run. The 2 guys that were trying to actually, you know what? Can we get a view of the Cameron Stone on this? Like on board Cameron Stone? Because he made it through without hitting anybody, I think. And he was in the middle of it the entire time. We got to see this on board right here. Take a look. Can we get in the car? Like actually in the car? Yeah, right here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at how this must have looked out of his eyes right here. See, he's a little bit of smoke, more smoke. Stop. Hold the brakes. He's got a car on his side on the right, and he's going to hold him in as much as he can. Found a hole, got through it, didn't hit a thing. Wow.
That's incredible.
All right, I like that. All right, Kyle Petty. That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Oh, man, that's crazy. I love that type of thing, but now we're doubling up for the restart, but take a look at how many cars are out here now. After that wreck, it took out a lot of guys. A lot of guys had problems. So I only see maybe 4 rows already formed up. Everybody else, maybe 5 or 6 rows, but they're kind of spread out. We started with 35 cars. We are down to probably less than 10 that have no damage.
I'd say you probably got a little bit more, but I mean, you have less than 10, I'd say, that have not been involved in a wreck.
That's what I was talking about. No damage. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you still got a lot of guys, that were able to get damage fixed, but I mean, yeah, like you said, there's probably 10 cars that have not been involved in a wreck. And look, it's all the top 10.
And Delaney, by the way, he came down pit road that last time by. So with a few cars coming down pit road, we got. Let's take a look at the stints. Can we look at the stints real quick? That'll tell us who stayed out, who didn't, what the whole situation on tires is. The entirety of the top 4 stayed out on old tires. 19, 16 for the final 3 there. Hill, Galata, Coffey, and Hunter. Then you got Hoytsma, who beat Delaney out on pit road, followed by Dyson, Kulmacheski, Hastings, and Hoffman rounding out your top 10. Oh boy, let's see how they do it. On the restart zone, Paul Hill's got it. He wants to win the in-season tournament and the race. Is he going to be able to do it? He's got 43 laps to prove it. We're back underway here from Indianapolis for the full-length Cup Challenge.
A good restart by Hill. Probably the worst restart of the night, but it was still a good restart. He's able to clear into turn 1, but that wasn't just the most stout restart in the world as they go down into turn number 2. Everything's single file in the top 5, but again, I think things are going to mellow out a little bit after we just knocked out another 8 cars, but down this long backstretch, Galata might be able to get a run and get past this Paul Hill machine up here.
Yeah, side-by-side battle right now is for third. It's between Tyler Hunter, Delaney right now. He's getting a shot from Hoytsma as they head into turn 3. Hunter's going to dive it in deep. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. Delaney's going to hold him tight on the bottom. That's not going to quite work out for Tyler. Tyler's going to try to get on back again, but remember, Tyler's on older tires. He almost collects Delaney there. He gets tied off the corner, and now Hoytsma's going to try and make a move on him down to the bottom of the racetrack. This is, again, your top 5, but up front, battle for the lead. Paul Hill hanging on to it, but Galata is all over the back bumper as they are all single file for the top 10.
Yeah, again, I think you're going to see a lot of riding for the next 40 laps. Now, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, once we get, I think a lot of these guys that pitted with lap 115 might be close to making it. I mentioned, 45 might be kind of pushing it, but you might see a lot of these guys try to save just a little bit because they think they can make it if this goes green the rest of the way. But, I mean, obviously, Paul Hill's not going to be able to make it. Joseph Galata, Alex Coffey, Tyler Hunter, they're going to need to pit one more time if this stays green. But also, they're banking that they might get another wreck here with less than 30 or 20 to go, wherever it may be. But this is where you're going to see some strategery come in. Galata had a moment off turn 4 there.
Hanging on to the race car. I mean, we saw him have a problem earlier. They got him down pit road to take him out of contention. He's back now. And single file throughout the front of the top 10 here. But Hill, Galata have really pushed out in front. Coffey is hitting the wall here. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that Delaney on back is saving gas because they are on that point where it's a maybe not on whether or not they can make the race. 6 cars is one of the fastest cars all day, and because of that, he's trying to keep that gap there. But Hoytsma making a move on Tyler Hunter, deciding I don't want to ride behind Tyler Hunter. I want to try and make a move, but Hunter trying to hold steady on the outside, and he does. He still side by side with him. This is again for the 5th place spot. Hoytsma's going to be even with him down the back straightaway, and Dyson is right behind him in 7th. Who's he going to go with? He chooses Hoytsma to try and go with. He does not like going with the 58, with the 48. That's interesting choice.
I think you're going to see this top 3 pull away because they're not in fuel save mode. They don't have enough. There's way too long to try to stretch. That's asking a lot to go to 63 laps. When even going to 45 is asking a lot if you save. But I'm telling you, I think a lot of these guys that pit on lap 115, they're not going to push at all. I mean, I'm just looking at the times. Paul Hill last time by was a 51.8 at the line. All these guys that just pitted on that last yellow, almost a second slower right now. So I guarantee that they're saving a little bit, trying to get to the end. So I think Jonathan Delaney might be in that same boat. He's saving, but not as much. But he might not need to. As Galata, he's just Tokyo drifted off turn 4. But that I mentioned that number earlier. I think 45 is about that longest you could stretch it. Maybe a little more if you're just really, you have to really commit to saving like as soon as you get up pit road. But I mean, I think that if whoever is able to stretch it the longest is going to win this race.
I mean, Hill and Galata and Coffey, they like you said, they made the bed. They know that they gotta hope for caution in order to make this work out in their favor. Otherwise, it won't. It won't work out for them. And then even then, they need to make sure that people come down pit road with them whenever the caution does come out, if it does. But Dyson here, now this is interesting. We have our 2 guys who are going for the in-season tournament on 2 separate strategies. So it's not going to be decided on speed unless we get a caution. But Dyson and Paul Hill, 2 separate strategies. I'm excited to see who's going to pay off and who's not. Tyler Hunter is all over the back bumper Delaney right now. I don't know if Tyler's going to want to try and get on by if he knows he can make it on gas. But remember, 43 laps under caution is what we saw, the longest run. And that was done by the 1 car, Dustin Hall, who's running in 17th right now. That was 43 laps on a single run with 1 caution at the first stage. Now, this race, this last restart happened with 42 laps to go. So it's within range, but that was with a handful of caution laps. So even they would have to be super saving right now to be able to make it to the end of this stage. The end of the race, I should say. They got to save a lot of gas to get there. And that 48 car is pushing the 6 to, he's going to make a move on the 6. I think that some guys have decided, you know what, saving might not be the right idea. I'm going to push now and hope that I can save later. But Hunter, take a look. Tyler Hunter moves up to 4th place, leading the strategy of the savers.
I think Tyler Hunter pitted on that lap 100 caution because him, Galata, and Coffey, I think, they all were that top 4. So I think Delaney is starting to save just a little bit more because he might realize, crap, he's probably a little closer to that fuel number than initially expected. But I think he's only got to save just a handful of laps. It's not like he had 37 to go. He's got to find 5 more laps. But I don't think he was pushing hard enough to where it's going to hurt him. But I think he's still got enough time. So the other thing is he might have wanted to build out a little bit of a gap right now as he gets passed by Clayton Hoffman. So he might have he might have misjudged how much he had to save or how much he had left. So, again, end of this race going to be crazy just based off fuel strategy.
I'm excited. I mean, that's for sure. Can we look at the stints one more time just to make sure I got this right in terms of how many laps they've run? I like to see that stint right here. Here we go. So Tyler Hunter, Galata, and Hill. These are the 3 cars that need to pit again, but also Coffee. Did Coffee just pit?
Yeah, he just came down pit road, I believe.
Yep, that makes sense. I was wondering where he went. So with that in mind, that 54 coming down pit road, he's going to come back out on the racetrack. He's in a good position. He's going to make it to the end of the race, and he can go 100%. He doesn't need to worry about fuel no more. But he also doesn't need to worry about getting lapped. I mean, the leader's right now in the exiting turn 4. He's going to be able to hang on to the lead lap. So even in the event of a caution, he can stay out, have fresh tires, or at least not super fresh tires, but he's going to have to hope for something crazy to happen to help him out. Correct. But he's in a good position. I like it.
The thing that's going to hurt him, though, is he's going to have Brandon Hastings and this Carl Dodson machine right here. He's going to have to deal with dirty air. I mean, he probably will have to deal with it for long, but I mean, that's still going to affect the handling of the race car being in that dirty air. So it's like we talked about earlier in the race, you know, when we had the 99 of Joseph Gallardo who pitted early on that lap 18 in that stage 1. You know, he had clean air in front of him, but our leader, Joseph Delaney, he was dealing with dirty air with guys that pitted or guys that were just there off pace. So, again, it really all depends if you have clean air in the front of that race car.
Yeah, Jonathan Delaney, man, he's a fast guy to beat, and I mean, it's hard to beat him on fuel strategy. Right now, he's leading these guys, and he's kind of setting the pace here. If anyone behind him wants to pass him, they sure can, but they know that 6 car knows how to get it the exact number, or at least something similar to it. I'd love to take a look at his onboard and listen to his engine just for a little bit, because if we could hear what he's doing, if he's like cutting the car off, or what that 6 car is actually doing, if he's just lifting or clutching or how it works. Let's try and listen on board here for a second. Yeah, he's completing. I knew that he was going to be completing shutting the car down. He knows he has to be able to make it to the end of this race. You got to be clutching. Yesterday in the end of the Xfinity race, I was able to get 7th place because of that fuel strategy. We were like 11th place car, but that fuel strategy saving ended up getting us a lot of extra spots we weren't expecting. So I think fuel save is going to be a good idea, but this is a different amount of laps you guys have to make. These guys have to make it a lot further, so they're going to have to really save. And down the straightaway, in terms of like front straightaway speed, let's talk about like Tyler Hunter when he hit the line is at 190. When Delaney hits the line, he's at the same thing. So he's not saving on the straights. He's just shutting the car off and gliding into the corner, turning it back on and driving the car off. So Dyson has got to realize, hey, if I want to win this race, I might want to be controlling this.
And it probably would be a good idea for him to win this race, because look who's leading right now. The one car he's got to beat to try to get that extra money. I mean, right now, Paul Hill's got it in good shape right now. He still has to pit, but the other thing is, you know, he's going to make up some time. So Andrew Dice is still going to be saving, but Paul Hill's going to have to pit here. This could be, depending on when he pits, this could be an interesting finish to see if he could make up that gap. But again, that's a big ask. But Dyson's probably going to have to be not 100% full speed all the way through the end of this race. The other thing is Paul Hill's about a second faster, maybe a little bit more than Andrew Dyson each lap. So the more he builds up that lead, the more he could be able to come down pit road.
Oh, you know, I got to tell you, it's interesting to see these guys' strategy. Watching from afar, you got a lot of cars. Like, I mean, you got this train of cars behind Delaney that are using Delaney as kind of like a, how do I put this? It was let's try and figure this out. So using him kind of like as a checkpoint, or somebody who, a relative, somebody who you can, you know, look at and you're going to judge yourself off of. So he's going to be our main contender. You're going to save based off him. Go push him harder, and then he'll be the guy that we want to take a look at for the benchmark. There we go. On how you save a race car, because this guy knows how to save really well when it comes to fuel save. He's able to win races that way. But I'm excited to see if we get green to the end, who's going to save the actual right amount of fuel. Because if they don't, I mean, it's a big deal. You're going to see a car run out probably here at the end. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's good. Again, still a lot to be decided. 30 laps to go. You might tune in and think, oh, it's a two cars within a second of each other. There's a large gap. Oh no, really the race is just beginning. I look at this third position, like you said. Clayton Hoffman's his first car that pitted on lap 115. Does he have enough save? He's got about a 6-second gap back to Jonathan Delaney, who he started to save just a little bit earlier, or a little bit later than everybody else. So he might be one that could be in trouble. Andrew Dyson, he's just licking his chops thinking, man, if this stays green the rest of the way, he's going to be a whole lot richer, because I think he's going to finish ahead of Paul Hill, even though the Hill machine is significantly faster than Dyson right now. So we'll have to see what that gap looks like, because Paul Hill is inevitably going to have to pit here. It might be pretty quick in the next 10 laps or so.
Just thinking about that, Clayton Hoffman here in the 92, he was involved in that big accident earlier when Heitman got spun into turn number 1. That car had so much damage, but now he's sitting in the top 3. I mean, that car is coming back from adversity. I thought he had the worst of it, but no, he's back out here running top 5. But remember, I think he's not saving. I think he's banking on a caution right now. Even though he pitted early, that just gives him best position in terms of a restart. If something happens, he could stay out, save under caution, and then he can make the finish. So, I mean, he really is banking on something happening right now to be able to help him out. But so is the rest of the top 4. Delaney's the only one that's really hoping green to the end.
Yeah, I mean, the car I'll be curious about is Clayton Hoffman again, because if he sees all these other guys that are trying to save, I would think, okay, if they're trying to save, we're on the same strategy. We must be, pretty close on fuel anyway. But I don't know. He might have enough saved up, or he might be I'll tell you what he might be trying to do. He might be trying to push now and then save a significant amount later. That way, so he can build up a lead instead of just trying to save and just tread water around Delaney, because he's still running pretty fast laps. So, I mean, we're going to have to see in the next 29 laps.
A second a lap faster for Paul Hill right now. In terms of him versus the guys who are saving tires. You take a look at that last lap thing, you can see right there, Delaney's running 53.5s versus Hill's 52.4s. So that's wild. You know what I'm thinking about now? We got 28 laps to go. Can we look at the stints right now? I need to look at those stints. I ask that question all the dang time. I know.
Let's take a look. Stints,
35. Yep, that's right. 35 laps, 32 laps. So we're going to expect to see Paul Hill in probably in the next 5 to 10 laps. And we'll also expect to see Tyler Hunter in and Galata in the next 10 to 15 laps. A little under that, maybe 8 to 15 laps. They're going to try and go as long as they can. But that's going to tell you how these guys are going to go. I always like seeing the guys who topped off, because take a look at this. Neil Pearson, Chris Davis, Cameron Stone. These guys came down with 1 to go to top off on gas. So they have an extra lap of gas in their tank compared to everybody else. So if it does come down to it and all the leaders run out, there's an extra lap for those guys in the back like Pearson, Davis, and Stone. Be able to manage that slight amount of fuel gain that they other guys didn't have under the caution. So when will Hill pit? Be sooner rather than later. As the clouds start rolling in, it looks like that it's getting a little darker on the turns 1 and 2. We're going to see that, but in 3 and 4 it's still bright, so keep that in mind.
I mean, so if we could get an angle on Delaney and 5th place on back here, this is really your battle for the win right now. I mean, look, all these cars are under a blanket. You have 5th place Jonathan Delaney, Andrew Dyson at 6th, Lucas Hoytsma in 7th. You have all these guys that are all under a blanket right now from 5th through 12th. It's about a second and a half as Tyler Hunter's going to come down pit road. That's the end of the road for him. But, I mean, you talk about those guys that topped off right now. You have Neil Pearson who topped off. Chris Davis right now. They have that little extra bit of fuel in that car, so that might be enough to get them over the top since they're hanging with all these guys that are saving. They have 1 extra lap, pretty much. Now, it depends how much they saved under caution, but I mean, they have extra amounts of fuel that those 4 cars ahead of him do not. And that could decide a winner or anything else on this top 5.
Well, you see it right there. We got someone on YouTube chat here trying to support Tanner Marty tonight, having a interesting night for him. Top 15, still on the lead lap, trying to hang on to the race car. So that's good for him. Top 15 is definitely something Tanner Marty would definitely needs right now. It's a good race for him, and we're excited to see how he does throughout the rest of the season. But right now, just off the pace, trying to catch back up to the back end of the guys who are saving gas right now, so let's keep that in mind while we're looking at that 29 of Tanner Marty. Still, look at this line. Everybody has really decided that Delaney's the guy to base your savings off of, and just do not pass him, but ride with him, because he's going to be right on it.
There's another big thing here. You know, I know that they're saving, but Jonathan Delaney is still in clean air right now. He's having to use, as we have Paul Hill come down pit road, and, you know, you look at this line of cars right now. As,
99.
Wow, 99 beat him off pit road.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's big. As Clayton Hoffman's going to be the Lone Ranger now, leading by 12 seconds. He could actually start saving right now and see if he's okay. But you know, I bet you Delaney, he's got clean air right now, but that's not a good thing if you're trying to save, because he's going to have to push a little bit harder than these guys behind him to save, you know, to try to maintain the lead in this pack. So he's actually not saving as much as the guys behind him. You know, you might have Andrew Dyson or Lucas Hoytsma behind him. They might be 70, 80% throttle, just getting pulled down the straightaway. So they're saving actually more than Delaney is.
That is true. They're using the draft to help them out. That's the right thing to do, too. You're going to have more saving. And nobody wants to lead the line like this, because you will lose a lot more gas down the straightaways. You got to save a whole lot more on the corners. That 41 chooses to get to the right at the back bumper and then lift a little bit, and then you save gas doing that. So, I mean, you see him, he's lifting every now and again doing that, give him shots in the back bumper.
Yeah, everybody behind Jonathan Delaney's clutching right now. This is going to be very compelling. The other thing here, if we could look up to our leader Clayton Hoffman right now, he could also be saving right now, because he'll have Tyler Hunter right now, who just came out. He could also get a little bit of draft from him as well. So, I mean, it would be again a big ask for Clayton Hoffman to try to save 22 laps of fuel here, even though he's been pushing this hard, but he does have the gap to do it.
You know, I don't think Hoffman's going to be saving anything right now, I'll be honest with you. The thing is, Hoffman, he's laid his bed. He got fresh tires, he got gas, but he is going on to go longer than those that chose to stay out at that pit stop. So he's able to do these more laps, higher chance of a caution.
Oh, Cam Stone making a move. He just made a move into the 7th spot past Pearson. So I think you're kind of getting to this point now. You know, I'm sorry to interrupt, but, you know, when you're in this line back here, when do you quit just sitting in line, and when do you start to make moves? Because, you know, you look at Cameron Stone, Neil Pearson right now. Again, they're a lap better fuel-wise than all these guys, so they could put pressure on them to make them use more fuel.
True, absolutely. You got to make sure you push them to the absolute limit. You push somebody to run out of gas, but that might also run you out of gas as well. So, I mean, oh man, I'm really sketched out. They got a long way to go to make this work, and you could see the gap. I mean, it's 16 and a half seconds from the leader to second place, because the leader's decided that he just doesn't want to save. He's going to push all the way.
He's made his bet. I mean, it's getting racy back here now. They're side by side for 5th right now. Cole Majeski's getting passed by Cameron Stone. You know, I mean, this is the other thing. You know, you could almost use that one lap to your advantage of make other guys play offense, because I guarantee if Andrew Dyson and Jonathan Delaney see him pulling away and they realize that he's one lap better the good than them, I mean, they're going to start pushing and run themselves out of gas like you said before.
And we just actually heard a soundbite from Jonathan Delaney, who's leading that line a second ago. Said, let me make sure I heard. He was trying to tell Cameron Stone to get up here and show them the way, is what he said. So he wants all the help he can get. I don't think Cameron Stone is actually trying to get to the lead of the line. He just wants a better position in the line.
I beg to differ.
Oh, here he goes, right there. He wants to take this lead and lead this way. Maybe he saved more gas than the guys up front. I don't know. But Delaney wants this. This is absolutely what he wants.
I mean, this is the other thing. I mean, Cameron Stone's just been waiting in the weeds. He's got an extra lap fuel compared to a lot of these guys. And, you know, he might say it's go time and put a lot of these guys on the offensive now. So I think that's exactly what Cameron Stone's doing. He might risk himself to run out of gas. But, you know, all these other guys, if they push hard and, you know, you never know what'll happen. This could, business is going to pick up.
Oh, yeah. 20 laps to go. This is the final bit of the race we all came and stayed for right now. That 57, he has decided it's go time for him, and that is going to be a benefit to him. He's still saving, but he wants to get a gap from him
Clayton
to
Hoffman
the
down
next
pit
car.
road. Or sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's good. No, Clayton Hoffman, he needs to come down pit road. He wasn't going to make it on gas. He's going with 20 laps to go. Look at this gap he's got.
Significant gap. I mean, he's going to fall behind, but we'll see where he ends up. I mean, if he does get fresh tires, we'll have to see what he does down here. You know, he might not be out of it either.
We actually had a moment there, I think, where the 41 and the 6, while that was going on, had a weird entry there where the 41 almost turned Delaney. He hangs on to the race car, but they are super saving right now. Cameron Stone is just not. He's deciding that I think thinks he's good to go, but it's going to be really close on gas. I don't know. They've been saving this entire time. Man, look at that gap though, a second already.
Yeah, he's already out to a second. I think Cameron Stone, I think, he's probably right on the edge of that number because, again, he's been in the draft of people. He's got an extra lap of fuel compared to those guys that didn't top off. And, you know, he's going to make these guys make a decision. Do we sit wait behind Jonathan Delaney or do we try to go catch him because he might be good on fuel?
I heard Jaws coming around here. I think that guy's trying to move on forward. I mean, 41's waiting for the right time, but I got to give some props here because something I've noticed is Paul Hill and Galata, these guys are about, they're starting to actually pass guys who have yet to pit. Like Hall and Simpson, they're getting up to the back bumper of Hall right now, but they are still 13 seconds behind Simpson. So it's going to be, they're going to need a caution to get back into this race, but Hill is betting on it. He needs it to be able to actually win this in-season tournament right now. We talked to him earlier. He said he just was hoping for the right strategy to get this thing done, and he's banking on a caution. He needs one desperately. But up front, Stone, Delaney, Dyson, Hoytsma, Kumacheski don't want to see any caution at all. They just want this thing to go green to the end.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'd love to know exactly what the fuel number is for Cameron Stone right now. I mean, I'm telling you, he's not just significantly fast. He is the fastest car of this group up here, but I mean, if he's good, as he clips the wall off of turn 2.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But it's going to be real interesting if this is just getting a lot of the guys like, hey, start to push with me. But again, it's going to be a lot of fun this last 16 laps.
Wow. Man, I mean, you got to feel for those guys that stayed out as long as they had. They were just hoping for that caution to save them, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
I just don't think we had enough cars to wreck to have one.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one. I'll be honest, we saw a couple cautions already with just self-spins, so it can happen. But Cameron, he's decided, nope, I'm going to the end. I'm going to run this thing out of gas or win this race. That's his choice. So.
Again, I hate to interrupt. I've noticed something these last 2 laps. Cameron Stone has slowed down just a little bit. He is on a similar lap time to these guys behind him. So he might have got this gap, and now he's trying to save and maintain the same speed as these guys behind him. So Cameron Stone might have used that extra lap to his advantage, got a gap, and now he's just maintaining pace with the guys behind him.
That's a good choice. I mean, he wants the decision to be his. He wants to have people say, I don't want to follow anybody to the finish line. I want to be able to lead this thing. If I run out of gas, so be it. But if I'm up front and you're coming to me on the last lap, I am making sure you do not get on by me. I know Cameron Stone, he is begging to make sure he tries to stay out here and win this race. He wants to do it so bad in that 57 car.
Oh, that's 100%. But, I mean, it's, again, it's starting to get a little squirrely now. You see Chris Davis start to make a move, Thomas Kolmajeski. I mean, there's still a lot to be determined here, but again, earlier we talked about how if you just follow the leader, if you play follow the leader, you're just gonna follow the leader. And the other thing that's kind of big here that's developing here, look who's in 9th place. This is Joseph Galata, who has been a good car the first part of this race. He is a second faster than all of these cars up here in this pack that are significantly saving. And he has 20-lap fresher tires, so he's good to go to the end, and he's gaining about a second a lap on these cars ahead of him. Now, it's going to be difficult for him to sift through 8 cars in front of him, but, I mean, this is not over yet. Paul Hill kind of in the same boat. Paul Hill's a little slower than Joseph Galata, but he's about a second faster than those guys ahead of him as well. Dustin Hall as well. Dustin Hall's got a pit. I was looking at the car behind him. I believe that was Clayton Hoffman, but he's got a little bit more of a gap. But again, you have these two guys on fresh tires. They have cut this deficit under 10 seconds now.
Okay, I actually got some news for you. The guys in the 99 Galata and also the driver, the 26 Paul Hill, these guys, they need to make, Galata from his position, with 14 laps to go, he needs to gain at least 0.7 of a second to catch Cameron Stone, who is 2 seconds ahead of second place, and is likely, Stone's in a position where it's going to be really close on gas, but everyone else is pretty sure they can make it. So with that in mind, I think as long as he's able to run about 0.8 of a second faster a lap, which is what we're seeing, he crosses the stripe this time running a, let's see what it is at the line. It is a 51.9, faster than last time by. He is currently 9 seconds behind the leader, 9.8 seconds divided by 13. It looks like 13 laps to go. He needs 7.5 tenths a lap now. He's cutting that down to where he's beating the number. He's gonna be there.
Yeah, but I say that last lap, Joseph Galata ran just under a 52. Cameron Stone, your leader, ran a 53.2. I mean, it's a full second difference now between Galata and Cameron Stone. All these guys, the guys behind Stone are running slower now than them. I mean, that last lap, Geiser ran a 52.7, Hoytsma a 52.9, but Joseph Galata's at least, and in some cases, not only a full second, but 2 seconds faster than those. The other thing, you got to deal with that, dirty air is a factor. If you're stuck behind somebody that's going to aero block him, try to make it hard for him to go by, it'll burn tires up as well. But this race is not over. There are still differing strategies. That was the other thing that I thought was going to be important. Those guys that pitted, or that stayed out actually, that did not pit, this is a whole different strategy call. They built up this gap. All these guys were saving from the restart. So now they have fresh tires, and now it's down under 5 seconds now between Galata and this last car, Jacob Simpson, in this pack. So it's going to be a fun 10 laps.
Absolutely. We're down to 0.7 a lap is what he needs to beat. He is beating the lap time he needs every single time. This last time by, 0.7 is the new calculation. He's 8.5 seconds back last time by. When they cross the stripe, we'll get another calculation for you, but he is for sure catching them, and I think he's going to be there. If his tires are able to hang on, he's running 52.1 last time, this time 52 flat. That puts him 7.4. He gained a whole second, almost a second and a tenth there on the leaders at 7.489 divided by 11 laps to go, 0.68. So he's going to get there. If he's able to get by the cars, he's got to pass all the cars. That's the only problem. You can catch him, but can you pass him?
Yeah, that's big, but I mean, here's worst case scenario. I think Joseph Galata still gets top 5, but if you're these other cars behind you, by the way, this gap up front, Cameron Stone, Andrew Dyson has shrunk significantly as Dyson has cranked it up, and Stone is still, I think he's trying to save again, try to make up the gap. But again, all these guys, they have to know that these guys are coming, so they're going to be trying to pick things up as well. And I mean, I think they've saved enough where they could push for a little bit, and it's again. This is going to get real interesting. Oh, we got one spin in. This is going to make this real interesting. Wow.
Chris Davis just changed the entire ending of this race.
Oh, Lord.
He was running in 6th. He came off of turn number 2. He just, honestly, it looks like he just got loose and spun it out. I was having so much fun with that calculator.
Yeah, yeah, he just lost it. It's interesting.
Yeah, Jonathan Delaney just came across the radio and said, never fails, never fails. Now we got just a 10-lap run to the end here. These guys are going to choose, do you want to come down pit road or not? The thing is, if they choose to stay out, for example, the guys who can stay out, these guys are running fastest laps of the day. They're running, like the last lap that we saw Galata run was 52 flat. I mean, the fastest lap of the race is somewhere in the 51.7s. So, I mean, it's 3 or 4 tenths if you're really pushing. But I think it might be a good choice to stay out for those two guys. I mean, Paul Hill, Galata, they just got to hang on to the lead. We saw that earlier with 2 guys on older tires. When they stayed out, they were able to control the whole race for multiple laps. Jeremy Miller was one of them. and also Alex Coffey. They were in the top 5 for more than 15 laps. So if they choose to stay out, that's going to be their race to win. But Cameron Stone is in a really rough position because I think it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You got to choose. Do you want to come down pit road and take tires and gas, which I highly recommend, or do you want to try and stay out and try to hang on to the track position and hope for crashes every time? But
so if they're coming down pit road right now, we are at 9 to go. It'll be 8 to go, which will be, so we'll restart this race with 6 laps to go. The big question is, if you don't come down pit road, you stay out. Do you think that they're done wrecking? Because I think you could hold them off for 2 laps, for a green, white, checkered. But I don't think you could do it for 6 laps or more.
Here's the decision, man. Everybody coming down
we got one
except
staying out.
DeCiani. DeCiani choosing to stay out, trying to get his first win of the season. Galata as well. Paul Hill. Clayton Hoffman is staying out. I mean, Hoffman's in a really interesting spot too, because he stayed out way longer, I think, than the other two. So with that in mind, I think he has the freshest tires out of the front 3, just missing that track position. But 2 tires, 4 tires, gas only. What are they going to choose?
I think you're going to see, as much as abrasive this surface is, you're going to see guys take 4. You might see someone take 2, but since they're so low on fuel,
Dyson.
It might be not a bad idea.
They all took 2.
Yeah, they all took 2. Forget what I said, but the top 6 stayed out. So if you're Joseph Galata and Paul Hill, is that enough of a gap to keep those guys at bay? Because if they're able to just be stuck in traffic, because like you mentioned, Clayton Hoffman, who pitted 6 laps later. It's not like they're on super old tires. They're 20-lap old tires. If Clayton Hoffman, he's on roughly 10 to 12 lap older tires. And plus they're going through a heat cycle right now, so that's going to help them. But Alex Coffey, a little bit older tires. Ralph Hutchison, a little older. Tyler Hunter's on the same cycle as these guys up front. But is that enough cars to keep these guys at bay behind them? I guess we'll find out.
It's track position. The tires are going to be cold. We saw it earlier. On the last restart, whenever we saw the 76 Derek Heitman, he had a great jump on the cars that had old tires earlier. Got to the rear bumper, had to lift, cold tires, spun out, collected a lot of cars. So fresh tires versus old tires. It's going to be exciting. We're going to bring Galata up in here in just a moment to talk with us before this restart. We're going to go ahead and drag him up here. Hang on just 1 second. We're going to head and he's going to be with Dylan here. Really quick interview here. Joseph Galata, this is Kirk Mills up in the booth. I got Dylan here who wants to talk to you for a second. You got a copy?
Sir, what's up?
So, real interesting race there. It looked like, a real interesting race that's gone on so far. It looked like you had the strategy that was going to win you this race. You had a significant tire advantage. You were making up a full second on that front 8 before that caution came out. Do you still feel confident, even though you're going to have older tires than 7th on back the rest of this way to try to bring home the W?
Yeah, clean air means a lot, more than people realize. I think these 2 tires I have on this car will hold up to the end.
So you're pretty well good on fuel, even though you pitted on what lap 135, 136. You're good to go to the end pretty much?
We're good for 3 green, white checkers. Yes.
Okay, that's even better. How's the car been? I know you had a little issue in stage 2, but you battled all the way back to first. How did that all happen?
I ran out of talent. I got tight with the dirty air. Then once I got clean air up near the wall, it shot me to the left. I went to save the car. Didn't want to loop it back into the field, so I just ran it through pit road, gave myself a 55-second penalty, and been trying to claw back. Yeah, been trying to claw back this entire time.
We'll cut you loose here. You got a big restart to focus on. Anyone you want to thank or shout out before we get you loose?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at CFM Performance and all the hard work that they put into building these setups with me and testing and all that jazz. So yeah, that's about it.
Joseph, you've done a hell of a job with this part. Good luck tonight, and hopefully we talk to you here in about 6 laps or so.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, what were you with 1110 Esports? Which chat were you in?
1110, yep.
You got it. I'll get you right back. All right, there we go. We're getting this thing back underway. We're going to have 6 laps to go when we get the green flag. The top 3 are all on older tires. Top 4 are all on older tires. Actually, it looks like top 6 are all on older tires. Coffey, Hutchinson, Hunter, these guys are all staying out here as long as they have. I mean, I'm excited to see this. We got Dyson as the first car out on fresh tires. Is Dyson going to be able to make this happen? I don't know. We're going to see. It's going to be a long run to the end. Is it going to be Paul Hill winning the $250 for the in-season tournament? Is it going to be the 41 of Dyson winning the $250 for the in-season tournament? I don't know. We're going to find out right here on this restart. We're back underway with 6 laps to go. Great restart. Oh, there's going to be a penalty on the start. Then the leader of the race switched lanes before the start-finish line.
Sure did.
That's huge. Hill's going to have the lead.
Yeah,
Galata's going to get a penalty here.
Yeah, because he had him cleared. You saw him correct it before he got to the line, but it wasn't in time. Oh, that works at officials. That won't work here. God, yeah, he's going to bow out.
Just
Holy
called
cow.
it. That's going to be a huge thing as they're battling for second. Hoffman and Coffey side by side for the second place spot, but Paul Hill in the lead heading in to the corner there. He's going to have to avoid the leader of the race, Galata,
so difficult.
who switched lanes. Oh, gosh, he's getting out of the way. He's doing something really respectful at 99. Oh, you hate to see it happen, though. Side by side still for second with 5 laps to go when they cross the stripe.
Yeah, Joseph Galad just came on the radio and said, yep, totally forgot about that. Womp womp is his exact words, not mine. That womp womp is what he said. But.
Oh, my gosh. You hate to see it happen, though. He was in such a good mood, too. He really thought he had this one done. Coffey hits the wall hard. Yeah, that's a big one. He said he was fine. Okay, I heard somebody over the radio. There are 3 wide back here with Dyson, Stone, and Ralph Hutchinson. They're going to make contact. Hang on to it. Wow, Dyson almost lost it. He's going to get a shot from Neil Pearson. This is back in the field again. Still battling for spots. That 41 needs to catch that 26. He needs to get there for the $250. Or as what our league owner here said, 3. They're wrecking. Stone, Neil Pearson around.
You're going to keep
no caution. No caution. Still green.
Oh, wow. Oh, there it is.
Now it's out. Caution's out now. We're going to get a green-white checkered.
Yeah, that's the right call. They still had cars coming. They came up a little bit, so. This is going to be a green-white checkered, it looks like, Kirk Mills.
Oh, my gosh. Man, this is good, man. We're getting good down to the end of this thing. It changed the race completely with that spin. See it right there. Pearson getting into the 51 of Stone. I mean, you hate to see it, but it doesn't look like a little bit of front-end damage for the 57. You hate to say it, but Stone really was in a good position. He had the freshest tires, first one in line, and just couldn't quite catch him in time. Like we heard the leader say prior to that restart, clean air is everything. So contact, gets him loose. Cameron says that everybody was going for the same spot. They were 3 wide, and then an incident happened, and we just heard that over the radio. So with that in mind, we're going to get a green-white checkered, man. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be Paul Hill, Alex Coffey, Clayton Hoffman, Tyler Hunter in the top 5, and then Andrew Dyson. Guy who's trying to win all the money he can. But I was saying right before that caution came out, 381 Australian dollars is what I think that the 41 car is going for. That's what what we heard from Bobby Anderson. So with that in mind, I mean, they want to get all the money they can get, but he's got to pass 4 more cars.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to it. You can get a lot of Vegemite with $331 in Australia.
Oh, don't make me barf. Oh, gosh, that's terrible.
You're just not, you're putting, I can tell you what's happening. You're putting too much on the bread. You got to just lightly coat it. You can't put it on like peanut butter. It's good. Hey, you just ate it right. It's good.
All right, man, we're going to go ahead and go to a quick break before this restart. Sit tight. We'll be right back shortly for the green-white checkered and the end of the full-length Cup Challenge race here from Indianapolis.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
And we're back here for the full-length Cup Challenge. We are now down to 1 lap to green for the first attempt at a green-white checkered finish here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That 26 of Paul Hill. He is trying to win the in-season tournament and the race here on this restart right here, right now. He's restarting on the bottom. He chose the bottom line. All the cars behind him, with the exception for the first 3 cars behind him, the 54, the 92, and the 48. They are all on old tires. The only one who has fresher tires is the 41 and the 6. Exactly one in that third lane there, side by side. And who's your pick? Who do you think's going to do it?
I think whoever the first car to cross the line with the checker flag is going to win. That's my pick.
Oh,
I have no clue. I mean, right now, I think Paul Hill's in a really good spot. You know, that tire, you know, he's a tire disadvantage still, but those tires only gained 1 spot, and it was because of a restart violation. So there really wasn't much ground gained over there. So if Paul Hill gets going to restart here, we make it back to the white, then the checkered, I think he's going to go home a winner and a little bit richer.
Oh, we'll see. I'm excited. Dyson is going to do everything he can to try and catch up to that back bumper. He wants the money too. And they are just separated by 1 car on the bottom lane right now. So here we go. Out of turn number 3. Side by side all the way through this field. And it looks like 16 cars double file right here with a few more on the tail end after coming out of the pit lane. Who's it going to be? Hill, Coffey, Hoffman, Hunter. That's your top 4 with Dyson, the first car on fresher tires. Here we go. Pace car. It's going to dive off of the front straightaway into the pit lane. And it's side by side through the restart zone. Remember, don't change lanes before the start finish. Here we go. Cross that first line now. We're back underway. Great restart by Coffey on the outside. That was the best restart by the outside line all day, but Hill got the best jump, and it looks like Tyler Hunter did not get a great start at all, as they're going to be 3 wide entering turn number 1.
Yeah, the thing that hurt Alex Coffey right there, the guy behind him did not get a good launch, but the guy behind Paul Hill did. Oh, what
97, Hoytsma. Hoytsma spins it out. Caution is not out yet. No caution yet.
Yeah,
caution is now out. Wow. We're going to get a second attempt here. Paul Hill with the lead, but that was Hoytsma's race done. It all stemmed from Jonathan Delaney hitting the wall and getting loose, and the 97 was right behind it, I think. So let's take a look at that replay.
Moderately shocked they threw that because it looked like he was going to bottle it up, but better safe than sorry. As we head down to turn 1, he was just, that top line is so hard, especially with cold tires. Plus, he got skipped into the wall, and he might have got hit from behind if we could get another view of that.
Yeah, but he hit the wall and got loose, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think he was going to be fine. Then he got probably a little contact from behind.
Let's see what happened here. Behind him's Dustin Hall in the 1 car. They hit the wall. No contact from behind the 2 car. Simpson. Yeah, Simpson.
That's not Jacob Simpson's fault either.
No, it's not his fault, but it was just the one who got hit. So that's going to do the 97 in for the day. But man, I think that the only person that benefits is Galata. I mean, Galata's remember he had that penalty. He's back on the lead lap now, and he gains a couple spots there. But I mean, maybe he can get a top 10 after all that. We'll have to see. But now we're going to have a second white checkered, and Paul Hill still leading this thing. Paul Hill is a driver that you just know is like really confident in the way he drives his cars. He's one of those guys that's able to win races. He's really quick. He had a chance to win at a couple races earlier this year. He almost won Daytona. He almost won Atlanta. He goes on to win a couple races, And right now, if we look at Paul Hill, he's won 2 races this year, and he's trying to go for 3 to be third in points or tied for second in points. We'll have to take a look at it, but that 26 is having a championship year right now, no matter what happens.
Oh, he's been one of the classes of the field here. Him and Jonathan Delaney. Seems like one of those two is always up front every week in this series. But let's talk again. So Andrew Dyson, talk about the in-season tournament money situation. Andrew Dyson gained a spot there. He's up to P4. So he's going to be diagonal Paul Hill on this restart. So if I remember correctly, the leader has lane choice, correct? I didn't just imagine that.
Yes.
So the leader does have lane choice. I mean, if I'm Paul Hill, I might take that. I'm taking the bottom all day long. But the thing that'll get interesting is if there's another caution and he has Andrew Dyson behind him, then what do you do? Because he might get shipped into turn 1, but also he'll get a good jump. But hopefully we don't get that far. But I mean, just keep an eye on how things stack out, because again, it's a long way from that green flag all the way to the white flag. That's a full almost 2.5 miles between there and the white flag. So there's still a lot to be decided there.
And let's talk about this other story. Clayton Hoffman, he's sitting 13th in points without a win. He's going to restart second here on the outside line. That 92 is desperate for a win. He wants it so bad. He's pretty much locked into the championship here, but not necessarily. Wins can still knock him out, but he's in a pretty good points position where he doesn't necessarily have to worry about, getting knocked out on points. But he would desperately love a win so that way he can be guaranteed a spot. But not just him. I mean, think about other cars here that are here. Tyler Hunter, if he's able to somehow get through all these guys, he's restarting in 5th. If there's a way that 48 can somehow get through all these guys or something happens, he's going to be able to make the job done. He's going to be able to be in the playoffs, and he's not even in the top 20 in points. So, I mean, anything could really happen on this restart. It's all about where you are and how it's going to line up. Leaders are now coming off turn 4, heading onto that main straightaway. We're going to be double file here, and we're going to get a second attempt at a green-white checkered finish. I mean, anybody can win this thing. This is what we love about NASCAR and racing. Once it gets down to the end of these things, these overtimes, it gets chaotic, it's entertaining, it's wild. And anybody can win. It's just a matter of getting the right position at the right time and all the stars lining up just so that way you can somehow end up crossing the line first, man. I mean, this is dreams for the top 4. They know what they have to do.
Oh, absolutely. Again, we saw in that last restart, Paul Hill, he probably had the worst restart of the night compared to all the restarts we've had in the race, but he was still able to get clear to turn 1. I think as long as he doesn't just slide the tires on this restart and he gets clear of that 92 machine, he'll be okay. But here's the other thing. Clayton Hoffman, of this top 3, he's got the best tires. So he does have an advantage of the guy on the bottom. So if he's able to get to his right rear and not get him clear, he'll be okay. He'll might be able to get a run off turn 2, and then it'll be a drag race down this backstretch.
Again, thank you again so much to our lovely producer, DJ Lyon, for producing this race. And, of course, Dylan Connolly here for being our color commentator, and myself, Kirk Mills, here bringing you the action for the full-length Cup Challenge here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're coming down to the second green-white checkered here. I'm excited, and it's going to be worth your time to sit by and watch here as they're coming through turn 3 and then turn 4, and we'll get the green flag and see who will be the next full-length Cup Challenge winner. And it's going to be a lot of fun, so sit back, relax. It's going to be a little wild. Get up off your feet. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But that 6 car has a little bit of damage, so it might not be Delaney. He's in a good spot, though, on the bottom behind Hunter. They're squirreling their tires, trying to get some heat in them. As they have some colder tires, we haven't had a chance to really get some heat in them yet. Hill, Hoffman, Coffey, Dyson, Hunter. That is your top 5 as they head off turn number 4. That pace car is going to dive down into the pit lane again. And let's see who's it going to be. 2 laps to go. Green, white, checkered. Second attempt into the restart zone. Great jump by Paul Hill. Gets a good start. Hoffman close nearby. Hill is going to be able to clear heading into 1. Side by side for second. And Dyson pulls in behind Coffey as they line up into turn 1. Coffey's on the bottom trying to make the bottom line work. Side by side. Oh, hang on to it. Coffey saves the race car, but he loses all those spots. They are side by side in the back. Contact with Simpson and Hastings, but they hang on to the cars. No wreck yet. Down the back straightaway. Hill did not have the best of runs out of turn number 2. down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Hoffman is gaining ground. This is not over. Hoffman down to the bottom of the racetrack. They are 3 wide back for 10th, but the battle is for the lead. Hoffman is quicker out of turn 3, but through turns 4. For the final time, we're going to come across the start-finish line to get 1 to go if we don't see a caution. Crossing the stripe, 1 lap to go. This is going to be it. They are going to make it to the end. Here we go.
Hoffman's on him like a cheap suit going into 1. This launch off of 2 is going to determine the race right here.
Oh boy, Hoffman's coming. Here we go. Let's do this, man. This is it. To the bottom of the racetrack. Hoffman's there. He's got to run on him. He's on the rear quarter panel. Hang on to that race car, Paul. He's going to make a move to the bottom. They're going to try and get there. Paul goes down the block. He's doing everything he can to hang on to this lead, but Hoffman, he's going to try and move down low. And what is Hoffman willing to do to win this race? 2 turns 3. Is he going to have a run off 4? Here we go. He's got to run into the final corner. Not going to get there. I don't think it is. So right there, Hill's got it, but a run from Hoffman. Final corner, it's going to be Paul Hill coming across the line to win the in-season tournament and the race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Full-Length Cup Challenge, winning his 3rd race of the year. Paul Hill gets it done.
I mean, I'll flat out say that was a hell of a drive by Paul Hill. I mean, the only way to fully ensure you're going to win the in-season tournament, go win the race, and he did a heck of a job to do both of those.
That is a great way to win the tournament. He won both the race and the money. Oh, that's awesome. $250 going his way, but what an effort by Andrew Dyson after picking up that damage to come back. We'll talk to both of those drivers finishing 1st and 3rd. Clayton Hoffman, oh so close to his 1st win of the year. Couldn't quite get it done down the back straightaway, but he will settle for a 2nd place spot after starting in 31st. All the cars heading down pit road, and we have some after race anger going on in the audio, but Paul Hill crossing the front straightaway here. He's going to light it up, and does he do burnouts on the bricks? That's the question. I don't think he should. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, okay.
David Land's going to complain on Twitter about that.
Oh, you know it. You know it. Oh, is he? I don't know, man. He's kind of like on the edge.
Do it. Hey, that's what they're there for. It's a racetrack after all. Who cares?
Oh, people from Indiana, they care. I'm just telling you that right now.
I'll be fine.
Paul Hill getting the job done. 3rd win of the year. Great job for that 26 championship effort. Going to be a big deal here for that 26 team. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk to all the drivers who finished in the top 3 and show you the final results. But Paul Hill is going to be the one to take home the checkered here from Indiana and Indianapolis, and we'll be right back after these short messages.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
After 165 laps here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Paul Hill has declared himself victorious over the whole field in both the race and the in-season tournament. He gets the job done. When we're going to take a look at our final finishers here. Clayton Hoffman, close second, had a chance on the backstretch. And then Australia's Andrew Dyson finishing in 3rd place here tonight. So close to winning the in-season tournament, but just 2 spots short. Tyler Hunter, a great week Great race for him today. Top 5 effort. Thomas Kumacheski, also a great top 5 effort for him. Jonathan Delaney will round it out in 6th place today, followed by a great run by Jacob Simpson. Great job at the end to get into the top 10. Brandon Hastings, we hadn't talked about him much, but he gets a top 10 as well, along with Ralph Hutchinson getting a great top 10 after getting involved in a couple incidents. And Joseph Galata, in his first start here, is able to recover after a black flag early on to get a top 10. A lot of props for them.
Going back to 11th, Cameron Stone made a little noise. Is going to finish P11. My buddy, Dustin Hall, up finishing 12th. He had a good race. Dodged some calamity toward the end there. The Tanner Marty fan club's going to love him finishing P13. Neil Pearson up at P14. Alex Coffey, who was pretty much wrecked with 2 laps to go, brings it home 15th. Thankfully, he didn't hit anything, so he's going to be 15th. He didn't get burned, thankfully. Carl Dodson, the leading incident collector of the race with an 18X, finishing in 16th. Stephen Williams in 17th. Chris Davis in 18th. Matt DiCiani, tough night for him. He was up front a good chunk of the race. He got collected in that big wreck about 30 to go. And then Lucas Hoytsma rounds out your top 20.
Now these are starting to get to the drivers that had some problems. Dylan Critz, 21st. Larry McDonald's going to get 22nd there. 23rd, William Owens. 24th, Derek Heitman had a lot of speed, got involved in an accident. Paul Gallimore, Adam Benefiel, Bobby Anderson, Jeremy Miller, Eddie Rose, and Chad Sanner round out your top 30, with 31st being Matthew Long, Hunter Truel, Jedi Taylor, Daniel Llewellyn, and then Dave Hoytsma are all the drivers who have attempted to complete the race here today. And that's the end of our finishing lineup there. And now we're going to have a chance to actually talk with some of the winners of today's race. It's going to be exciting to hear from them. First, we got Paul Hill. He's going to come in here in just a second. Paul Hill, you got a copy? You did it. You got the win, buddy. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I'm stoked, man. I told you last week the plan was just to go out here and win the race. No one can get the 250 if I win it. So that was the goal. We did it.
Man, you beat all these guys. You showed them up. You did exactly the right thing. The strategy wasn't going your way for the first part. I mean, what was the feeling you got when that caution came out right at the end when the 74 lost it? What was that feeling when you finally realized that there was another shot for you?
I'm going to be honest. I was worried that they had saved enough that everyone was just going to chance it and stay out and try to make it. So I wasn't quite certain, but when they all went down and it was just me and Joe there on the front row, I felt like we had a legitimate shot. One of us was going to take the win there, and unfortunately he crossed the line unaware of the rule. So that was kind of tragic, but I'm glad I could bring it home.
Man, I mean, it's so cool to watch you do that. And you held off Hoffman at the end. What were you thinking whenever you were coming down the back straightaway and he had a head of steam and you made the move to make that block? Was there anything else? I mean, how did that feel making that block? Were you scared? Were you terrified? Did you know you were confident? How did you feel?
All or nothing. I was like, I'm going to have to try to put the car in front of him and hope it doesn't turn me. And I think Clayton honestly cut me a little bit of a break and didn't completely drive through my left quarter there. And we were able to keep her straight and bring her home to the checkered. So that was pretty awesome. Shout out to him for the race. That was a lot of fun there, that last battle.
That's absolutely for sure. We'll hear from him here in just a few moments. But Paul, I got to ask you, this is your 3rd win on the season. Do you think it's your year to win this championship? Do you think you got a chance?
I mean, I hope so. Just come out here every week and try to win as many races as I can with this new playoff system. That's kind of the way to do it nowadays in NASCAR. So that's kind of been my goal every week. If I can't win it, try to get top 5s and hope that's enough. So I hope it's my year, but it's too early to tell. We still got a ways to go, and a lot can happen in the playoffs. The track selection is not exactly consistent, I guess would be the word to use. But a lot of wild cards.
Absolutely, man. Hey, congratulations on the win today. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out CFM Esports again. The car was phenomenal. We couldn't have done what we've done this race with our strategy calls without the confidence we had in the car. Joseph Galata built an absolute rocket ship. I want to thank everyone that comes and helps us do all the test sessions and the packed sessions with us over there, and give us the data we need to develop the car. So I want to shout all those guys out as well. They know who they are, and thank you, Tyler Hunter, as well. My teammate, he finished 4th tonight, just outside an interview himself. But I think that's his best finish this year. So I know he's super ecstatic about that.
Oh, I'm happy for him too. We actually interviewed him in the middle of the race. He was doing a good job. So, I'm happy to hear that. Congratulations again, Paul. And we wish you the best of luck heading on into the next week of Iowa.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, great job on a win, and enjoy that $250.
Thank you, sir.
Got it. And that was Tyler Hunter that was Paul Hill getting the job done, talking about Tyler Hunter there at the end of the interview. And now we go to our second place finisher tonight, Clayton Hoffman. Clayton Hoffman's with Dylan now.
Clayton, first off, congratulations on that second place. I know you would have rather got that one extra position there at the end, but coming down into turn 3, it looked like you had a shot at him. What was going through your mind? You were going down the backstretch on that white flag lap.
I blew my one shot off of turn 2 because I expected Paul to try to not expect me to have as big a run off of turn 2, and I couldn't get back to him. The only thing I could have done was just sent in the corner and moved him out of the way, and I wasn't going to do that. So he had it pretty much wrapped up there. I needed another good turn 1 and 2, so another lap to try again.
So I want to go back. First off, again, finish in second place. Congratulations. I know you want to get a spot higher, but that's still a really good run for you. I know there was a stretch before we had that caution with 7 laps to go. You were kind of in that same boat with all that guys in the second pack pitting on the same lap, and there was a chance that everyone had to save to make it to the end if it stayed green. Did you just basically say forget that and just kind of did your own thing, try to put those guys on offense? What was the thought process going there?
Yeah, I tried to save gas in stage 2. I'm pretty confident I was ahead by like 8 or 9 seconds over the next person that was going to be able to make it on fuel, and then caution came out, and then my car got destroyed when I had nowhere to go when whatever that wreck was on that restart after that first caution in the middle of stage 2. So spent the rest of the race fixing it, and at the end I was surprised I was able to get it all fixed, and it actually was all fixable. And then another wreck happened, got a little damage, and then it was already basically the end of the race. We had basically a long fuel run set up. I think it was like 44 to go or something, but I didn't pit under that because we had wrecked under another restart prior to that. So I think I had like 19 gallons, 19.3 or something coming to that last restart with like 44 to go. And I just decided saving fuel screwed me royally. So I was in like 10th place on the restart. I knew there's about 5 or 6 positions I should be able to get off on the first 10 laps of the run, so I just went for it.
That's very understandable. That was still the yeoman's work to get back up where you were, considering all the stuff that happened over the course of this race. Next week head to Iowa. Any initial thoughts there?
No, I haven't thought about it.
Okay. Before we cut you loose, you got anyone you want to thank?
Just shout out everybody at Altus. I can't really say if I had a really, really fast car or not. It seemed to be, I got basically one run to compare to Paul and Joe before whatever happened to Joe happened. And I seemed to be on pace, but I had better long run. But race didn't really come down to long run for the strategy I chose. So I got lucky with the caution there and came away with the P2, almost the P1, gave it a good try.
That's all you can ask for, just a shot at the end. Clayton Hoffman, I appreciate the time, buddy. Good job this week. We'll catch you next week. That was our second place finisher, Clayton Hoffman, by the way, and Kirk Bill standing by with our bronze finisher this evening.
Andrew Dyson here, man. Hey, you had a heck of an incident there that got you some right front damage. You got that fixed up, got right back through the field, but came up just 2 spots short. Tell me, was there anything else you could have done after that damage that you could have done to try and get back to that in-season tournament money that you need, that we all wanted to see you get?
Probably not, man. I felt like I threw my best shot at it. Really though, I think thinking back on it, maybe I could have pitted immediately and got some damage repaired. Maybe that would have made a bit of a difference. Maybe I could have started the last stage in a better spot. But they're all maybes. Don't know for sure. But yeah, I feel like I said, threw my best shot at it, came up a little bit short. Maybe I could have paid everyone off to not have a yo at the end there. I don't know, but would have negated any sort of winnings. But anyway, yeah, it was all good. It was a good race. Congrats to Paul. And yeah, shout out to Bobby for putting on. It's a pretty cool little thing and made it a bit exciting. So that was fun.
And for sure, it made us really excited to watch. I mean, you had a lot of speed in that car. It was really fun watching you come back. When I saw you get involved in that incident, I mean, it was like, oh man, that's how is he going to be able to come back from that? But you still did. You got a top 3 out of that. It's just amazing what you need to do to be able to actually win the money. It's wild. But Andrew, let me ask you this: you got 4 wins on the season. This is your like another podium finish for you. I mean, this is looking like a real good contender here for a championship. How do you feel about your odds now that we're getting down near the end of the season, the end of the regular season, heading near the playoffs? I mean, what do you feel like right now?
Jeez, man. Good question. I don't really think about it too much. All I know is, like, for sure there's going to be some guys who probably step it up a little bit. I probably feel like I'd want to do the same thing, maybe do some more races during the week for a bit of practice, things like that. But really, I can't go out there and try too hard and start going backwards or anything. I just need to go out there and try and rattle off some top 10s and top 5s and put myself in good positions at the end of races to get good finishes. I can't really go out there and force it and make it happen. I just need to do the best I can.
Well, Andrew, I got to ask you this. I mean, a lot of people go into making what this race happens, and everybody's attempts to try and win these races. A lot of people put a lot of work into it. Now tell me, who helped you out here this week trying to get this car ready to go?
Man, I actually didn't get a whole lot of time, but I do know for myself. But I do know that all the guys at Ryko Setup Shop, they put in a lot of time and effort. I usually message Derek here and there, and he helps out as well. So shout out to Heitman for helping out with some little setup changes and things like that. Usually he's running something very similar to me, if not exactly the same thing. So that helps a lot. Something that I struggle with a lot is setup adjustments and what to do at what times. So that helps heaps. And yeah, all the guys in the team as well. Like, we're always chatting when it comes to pit stop time, what we're doing with our car, setup changes, etc. So what we're doing as far as fuel and which tires we're even going to take. So yeah, all that stuff helps a lot, and can't thank those guys enough.
Well, congratulations again here, Andrew. Top 3, just a couple spots short. But hey, next week we're going to Iowa. I wish you the best of luck there. Anything else you want to say before the end?
Man, I just want to say thanks to all you guys for putting this on. And thanks to everyone for coming out for a race tonight and making it a good one. Yeah, shout out to Bobby and all the guys who put the league together. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Always a pleasure talking with you, Andrew. Best of luck to you next week at Iowa, and we'll see you there.
See you guys.
All righty. That was Andrew. Andrew Dyson there, finishing 3rd. But now take a look at this. This is our new point standings after tonight's race. Already got the graphic up and ready to go. Sean O'Brien Jr., that gap from him to Kolmacheski is closing. So don't say it's over yet for points for Kolmacheski. He had a great top 5 today. He's going to end up catching up, I think. Now tell me, what'd you think about that race, Dylan Connolly?
Man, that was such a good race. I mean, at any point, there were 10 different guys that we thought could win that race tonight. You know, anyone from Andrew Dyson, Jonathan Delaney dominated the first part of that race. We had a bunch of new faces in the race that were trying to decide it as well. We really did not know who was going to win that race until they came down the front stretch the final time.
And now next week we head to Iowa, August 2nd, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Times when we go live here. Make sure you tune in. This series is one of the most entertaining series you'll see on all of iRacing, and the Full Length Cup Challenge just really delivers high quality stuff week in, week out. And it's exciting, it's entertaining, and I'm excited to go to Iowa and see them go there with the new turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 with the new repave. But that is just going to about do it here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We have myself, Kirk Mills, alongside Dylan Connolly, and of course our producer DJ Lyon is here in the booth with us. We thank you so much for tuning in and watching the Full Length Cup Challenge with us here on Maconi Entertainment. And if you tune in next week, you'll see one heck of a race as well. This has been Maconi Entertainment's production. We'll see you next time.
to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.